class, a very short Ascension class. Welcome to New Earth, everybody. We are coming live in the end of summertime. Hope you're all having fun with these beautiful full moon energies. It's been quite a show, quite an energetic show, if you will. It's been nothing but transmuting a whole bunch of density and a whole bunch of things for me on my behalf. And I got a download today that I wanted to share. It is rather important, if you will, because it gives insight to the many things and the many shifts that we will be seeing come forward in our own awakening, how we shift and move human systems, the awakening that each and every one of us have within who we are as multidimensional beings, bringing it to the forefront, expressing it. And as I said earlier, because I'm in this new energy vibration, I'm receiving a lot more downloads. So I might do shorter videos, just a couple a week. Any donations that you can offer as far as our channel would be really great. It's paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. And so today our title is, it's only a couple of pages. As I said, I'm going to probably be doing more throughout the week. And they are going to be, because it's from the Galactic Federations, the Systems of Light, which are the systems of light that I belong with, introducing higher vibrational integrations, understandings, and wisdoms of where we're all going as an entirety of a collective. Each and every one of us come with different soul groups and galactic celestial groups that we're all here to assist in anchoring new codes, new dynamics of whatever programs and whatever expansiveness that we're in within our soul pod and within the galactic experiences. So it's quite a profound experience for each and every person to understand the vastness of the soul that they belong with. And every time they move through a profound soul awakening. I just love how the little curls are here. I'm just having a great time with all of the beautiful enrichments of my hair and my health. And my skin too. I've noticed a lot of improvements with my skin. So, and you're getting a DNA update and you're collecting more light in your body. It changes the pigments of your skin and it changes your whole biophysical makeup. So just know that as well. They showed me that earlier with regards to my earrings and how it affects the melanin. So it's really good to keep, again, working with your light because it does change all your biophysical makeup, and then you have higher commandmentship over your beauty and over your health. So much more so because the omnipresent is so much more omnipotent with purified, rarefied light. So it's going to affect everything that we exist within. So this is what I wanted to say. In this channel, I was going through the minutia of wrapping up 3D timelines for me, where are we going next in the kind of momentum of collective energy. The lower, the middle, and the high. What is it in the infinity for all of us to kind of take the highest and best in bits and pieces of all that we belong with? Whatever's unfolding in your reality, you're meant to take and focus on the highest and the best, and then go within your center, neutralize the energies, the 3 A's, the 3 E's, so that you're taking what you choose to take, and then you're moving forward with a new intention, direction, and focus to your highest vibrational alignment. Everything in creational reality is quantum experience. It's a quantum math equation. So the more that you work with light, that means that your equational body is becoming more of light. Your body of light, your mind, your brain functioning is all affected by light. How you move about in your daily reality is more of light. Your fields are more of light. Your discussions with your teams become a lot more involved because your teams are kind of coming closer and closer through the veil. You're now seeing, hearing, and sensing all of those senses that are now becoming more rapidly online because the light just does that. We are innately multidimensional beings, so the light will affect everything as our multidimensional sensing within the multidimensional fields that we're going to be speaking more and more because it is quantum healing. And light is everything that is quantum. It is the song of God, and it affects all of the fields in and without of your body. You have fields of light around the cell. You have fields of light around the nucleus. You have fields of light around all that you are as the molecular experience, micro, macro of source creator. So the more that we understand ourselves, who are we, what do we exist, and what's going on within us, then we have a better interpretation of really letting go of the lower vibrational systematic beliefs, which is what we're going to talk about today. The systematic beliefs Systematic beliefs have been a lot part and part to what has been holding us back. A lot of the systematic abuses, which we're going to talk about as I was capturing the summary and the synopsis of my 3D timelines, entering into this new 5D light. What are the human shifts that are coming up? What are the human anticipations and the human predictions, if we will? Those human predictions are going to be really profound. And so I want to give you great hope and great promise and great excitement for those that have been on the path for a long time. Thank you, Holy Sweetheart. Good to see you. And those that have been on the path for a very long time, you're going to recognize more and more reverberations of your receivership. And that receivership is your acknowledgement, acceptance that you are working as a minutia of rainbow light, of crystalline light. What we're going to talk about today is it's a very short to the point channel that the Systems of Light gave me as I was wrapping up many of the very harsh karmic timelines. It gives me a better idea of why I've come. It's a better understanding of my role within humanity and how it related to Jesus's role and where we're going next. And so this is a channel from the Systems of Light. It's not very long, as I said earlier, because I'm getting downloads and there are so much downloads and so much information. I think I'll do shorter videos throughout the week, just because it keeps everybody up to date, because we are going to be moving faster. The accelerations are going to be more and more readily felt. You're going to be seeing the shifting out and the sifting out of those darker, lower vibrational energies that are no longer serving your immediate reality. And that's just a matter of the 3 A's. You're acknowledging and accepting that certain energies no longer serve you, and then you're just allowing Source Creator to do that shifting for you. And again, people will be there one day and not there the next day, because that's Source Creator taking care of those energies that are no longer needed in that soul story. And that's only to do, again, as we keep saying, which is obvious, and we'll see a lot more as I posted on my YouTube channel. We're going to be seeing a lot more in the fall of many of the abuses, misunderstandings, misguidances, wrong, dark, dense beliefs about the abuses that have been going on in many, many fractions of our systematic society. Whether it be secret societies, whether it be cults, covens, whether it be just all, because we have to understand we're harmonizing, 100,000 years of human experience on our planet, and we have to face what's worked and what's not worked. So it's just a natural order progression. I'm going to keep clearing my chakra, and I'm going to keep saying what I'm going to say. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm in charge of my throat chakra and my spirit, expressing what I need to express. These are the discussions of human evolution, and thank you, Holy Spirit, Lord Michael, for protecting and sealing all of my clients and all my loyal vibrational beings online. And I will continue speaking on behalf of the collective and on behalf of the Systems of Light. Thank you, Holy Mother and Father and Lord Michael, that are protecting my systems of light. I'm have to do lots of clearing around full moons, because there's still a lot of energy projections and spell work and sacrificing going on. And as I said in my post this morning on YouTube, we're going to be seeing in the fall, and because of the fall time is the harvesting of the, what's falling off. Those things that are falling from the trees that is not, it's not good fruit. That's why we have those certain seasons. The fall will show you those aspects of the belief systems within humanity that are so low that it creates death, it creates disharmony, it creates chaos and destruction, because everything will be seen in its correlation, low, medium, and high. That which is filled with light, that which is filled with truth and simplicity will be of the higher consciousness vibrations, and those will be the ones in the leadership roles. Those will be the ones creating the momentum for new human earth systems. And you'll understand a little bit more when I go into my channel. And then the lower vibrational systems are those that have come from very old voodooistic, occult, dark occult practices, where they have practiced those things for eons, intentionally, and back in the original experiences of those tribes, they were meant to be used as clearing and cleansing deities and entities. I've had many timelines where I was a shaman in those tribes, clearing and cleansing demonic entities from people, from tribes, from spaces. And they were meant to be used, the darker occult practices were meant to be used as a shamanistic tool of wisdom to work with the darker energies and understand it and integrate and harmonize it and then clear them from the spaces and the tribes. It wasn't meant to be used as a control tool and tactic. But again, with lower vibrational consciousness, anybody that's in a lower vibrational consciousness and disconnected from spirit within who they are, because again, the systematic structures that we have been brought up within have taught us to look to outer religions, dogmatic systems, whatever's going on in the social collective for our meeting of what we are as godly. So we can see the breakdown in the systematic structures. This is the core vibration of our channel today. What we see coming out in the darker occult practices is just a systematic, it's systemic to the broken, disconnected experience. If you're disconnected from who you are within a spirit, you're going to have those darker occult practices because you want to be able to because sometimes they go to those experiences because they want to maintain control of their reality. And as we're moving into higher vibrational, omnipresent light, omnipotent light, the rarefied light, as within, so without, as above, so below, our entire collective is moving into greater light. Therefore, those darker occult practices are just being seen by the light that is our omnipresent. Those that are working in corporation and harmonizing of light, they can see in all of the substrates, no matter what level of consciousness it's at. This is why you've been on the path for some time, because you're going to be a collective leader. You're going to be a community leader for saying, I see where I see where we've gone wrong. How about we offer this, this, and this, which is just a straight alignment of the sacred heavens and your sacred Trinity, because that's all you really need to modify a system, to improve a system. But we have to do the 3 A's on what's not working, and that's many deaths and many things that are not necessary. It's all 100% healable of all of the systematic abuse that's been going on. Humanity has to acknowledge it. Humanity has to accept it in part of our humanity stories. And that means that these segmented groups of dark occult practices will have to face their deeds. They will have to be accountable for their deeds. And these secret society collectives, some of them, as we've said, which we're going to confirm today from the channeling I got from Spirit, has been partly affiliated with government targeting, for surveillance, for stalking, for testing. And that has been a part of my life story. So this is why it's important that I've come forward to advise humanity. Where have we been? Where are we at right now? And where are we going? How did it break down? What were the belief systems? Because remember, anything that is a systematic experience, because there's beliefs around it, that's the level of consciousness. Just as if church is a level of consciousness, just as if religion is a level of consciousness, it is all about the intention and motive. If the people's intention and motive is to control and dominate people, if the intention and the motive is to dominate women, if the intention is to dominate women and use women to sacrifice and use women to placate and be their minions, which is some of the secret societies that are misogynistic, neo-Nazi hate groups, if you will, which Spirit did say, those are Spirit's words, not mine. Spirit is showing us these various collective energies and how they are actual cancer in the community, and buying certain vulnerable people in, and then wrap it around fancy words and fancy verbiage, because those people that are in those societies abuse their power, and they pull people in to say, you're being initiated into our very secret and special group, but you need to be initiated, so can you do this, this, and this for us? And then these people buy into those experiences, thinking that those lower vibrational beliefs is what they need to give them a sense of self, a sense of power, which is what we teach all along. If you just go in and heal your sense of self, if you go in and heal your sense of who you are, what do you exist, and what's going on within you, you don't need any of those secret societies. So again, there is always a higher wisdom. Everything is healable, but there are people that get caught in these lower vibrational experiences because they're very wounded. And they're not going right to the wound first to heal that sense of self. They're not connected with their higher self, because their higher self would just say, go within and heal. Go within and heal your no sense of self. Go within and heal your rejection issues. Go within and heal your insecurity issues. Go within and heal the reason why you think you need other people to belong. As I said in my post this morning, self-reliance is everything. That's all you need, is just you and God. Don't look to anybody to belong. Don't look to anybody to rely on. Don't look to anybody to be codependent on. Those are all low vibrational systems, and these cults rely on that because that's how they feed the energy. They rely on people to be brought into their cult, into their belief system, so that they can sacrifice them, use their energy, and harvest them. There are many aspects within our systematic experiences because we've given our power away. 3D is all the lesson about giving your power away, whether it's Luciferian, Satanic, cult, and Haiti-cultism, and all those kinds of things. Wherever you give your power to think that you're going to feed yourself something, because everything is the infinity. If you're looking to feed yourself, some people in a wounded state will give their power away to other deities and other beings, other societies, other groups, other churches, other dogmatic, other governments, other leaders, because they want something in return. But those are again broken aspects, because it's the outer you're looking to for your importance, your sense of value, and your service with source. All you need is as above, so below, as within, so without. So we are seeing the correlation of our systematic breakdown. We are seeing the correlation of how we have created, through giving our own power away, through those belief systems that we've given such beings to abuse us. There's been a lot of abuse, and my posting today is about that abuse. And how did we get there, right? We have to know how we got here. What beliefs did we hold about ourselves to have any of this be okay? Because it's not. For people to die because of a ritual, for people to die because of a sacrifice, and these people who are the leaders of these ringleaders are telling these people absolute wrong and utter incorrect information. They don't know anything about creational reality. They don't know anything about quantum reality. They don't know anything about quantum mechanics. They're just providing low vibrational, misguiding beliefs. And these people are abusing their power because the people in their cults and their groups are respecting them for bringing that guidance. So they're using people, and this is where God is saying, part of my role was to go in and pierce the light, because that's what I do as a crystal child, which is again in our channel. As a crystal child, I pierce the light of truth and simplicity of the higher heavens. That is what I walk with as the mandate of the Christ, if you will. It has nothing to do with religion. The mandate of Metatronic light is I pierce broken, dense systems because they're incorrect and they're misguided and misinformed. There is always a higher order. There is always a higher truth. There is always natural order through God's plan. And that is just allowing the universal laws just to honor the universal laws and universal light. We are universal beings. From here on out, the compass is universal laws. Those that don't practice within universal laws, they will get immediate karma faster and faster. Why? Because the light on the omnipresent is more refined and more pure. So again, we are seeing the correlation to low, middle, and high levels of consciousness. And what do the consciousness exist within? Consciousness is entirely in and of itself your beliefs and your perspectives about who you are, what you exist in, and what's going on within you. Lower vibrational belief systems and cults and collectives and pods and families and places of countries, they're all based on, again, you become your environment. So it's very, very important that when you're in those corrupt environments to get out. Because Spirit would never, ever allow anything to be okay as far as a godly rule for you to stay in corrupt, abusive environments and cults. And those that say they are community leaders and are absolutely bringing misguidance and corrupt businesses to the collective that are unknowing. And they're being supported, as in my case, by 50 people that are threaded in and out the community. So now the community is seeing, my goodness, we were all taken for a ride, because these people that were in this cult and group from where I came from Calgary, they had all had elite positions, and thank you, Holy Spirit. And many of these experiences were absolutely in their own self-serving motives. It was all self-serving. It had nothing to do with any alignment with Source Creator. Because again, if you're aligned with Source Creator, you would never ever do those things. You would never ever create a cult. You would never ever create sacrifices. You would never ever create initiations. Your initiation is only with you and God, and nobody knows your initiations but you and God. If you're doing your daily ascension path work, only you know your initiations with you and your spirit and your soul guides. Nobody else would know your initiations. And why would you ever go outside of you to any other outer experience? And this is where there's so much misguidance. Share our videos, share our videos, share our videos. There is so much misguidance on those that are misinforming, misguiding, utter wrong information, utter wrong knowledge about energy, universal laws, and what we live in as a quantum creational reality. Our godliness is understanding fully who we are as godly, what we exist within as godly, and all that is within us as godly. It has nothing to do with religion. We're breaking that mall. Those systems and constructs have to break, because it's all breaking and we're being shown it. Lower vibrational consciousness is coming to the forefront right now, and everybody will be shown for their deeds of corruption that is and against the natural order of being godly. You'll see it. Those that are godly in full light and full capacity of their Metatronic light, those that are in full capacity of honoring and living in who they are as light, as a full multidimensional being of light. Who are you? What do you exist in? What's going on with you as light? And you're in your sacred Trinity. Those that practice that will be seen, and they will be known, and they will be lifted, because they have been prepared through the eons. They have been prepared through various dogmatic downfall, through religious downfall, through systematic downfall, and we have to break through to these new systems because we're moving in a higher momentum, and it's going to quicken. And whether the leaders want to or not, and whether the political leaders want to or not, and whether the schools or the educations want to or not, the momentum of that snowball rolling down the hill has been mentioned many times in infinite number of Cryon videos. The snowball is getting faster. So again, move or be moved. That's kind of how that goes, because light is going to touch everything. And if you're not doing the daily ascension pathwork, if you're not doing your soul fragment healing, if you're not aligning with your higher self guidance, your higher self guidance would never guide any to what has been done and what I've been talking about as to absolute, incorrect, wrong, abhorrent, systematic human testing, human experimenting, cult vibration, dogmatic vibrational abuse, all of those things, because God would never ever say that's godly. Those are the human corruptions of the wounds. Satan and Lucifer is a wound that you are going to for a lesson. Anything that you give your power to, anything that you give your power to get something back, that's a lesson. Because you're not saying that you're a godly to get it on your own with you and Source Creator. If you're fully harmonized with your higher self and Source Creator, you don't need anything outside of you. And why those of us in my stories are absolutely necessary throughout all time, because I don't need anything outside of Mother, Father, God. Mother, Father, God will make sure I have a few dollars here, a few dollars there to eat, whether I come in my car and my car is my pulpit or somewhere else. Because you don't need what you have been brought, told, taught, and shown in the collective systems as an entrainment to belong, to fit, to be successful. You don't. It's all wrong. It's all very wrong. That's where the lower consciousness sits. But you're now higher consciousness. Now we have to create new systems for the higher consciousness. Because the lower consciousness is not going to serve us. You can see immediately lower consciousness leaders. You can absolutely see anything in your collective that comes up on your media stream. What consciousness level is it? Low, medium, or high? Discern within it. Pierce that light and see, what am I feeling about this? Is it a lower consciousness? Is it a middle consciousness? Or is it aligned with the highest Metatronic light? Because you're created out of your reality. So the more you intend and focus on the highest Metatronic light, that's where your core soul vibration will be. Remember, you become your environments. So if your environments are dark, nasty, degrading, humiliating, degrading your sense of spirit, degrading your sense of self, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, whether it be a government, whether it be big pharma, whether it be education, whether it be your social circle, it doesn't matter. You're going to start, your energy bodies and your physical bodies will start, again, as the biophysical symptomologies will show you. You'll start to feel lethargic. You'll always be tired. You'll always have bad luck. Things will just happen in bad luck ways. That's when you know there's negative energy that is overrunning your light body. Because you're meant to be living in a good luck experience all the time. And it's just a matter of God bringing those experiences to you that, you're ready to be in that fully worthiness, acceptance. Well, I'm ready now to accept all the blessings that God has for me. And you're preparing yourself vibrationally for it. Because you've done all the work. You've separated yourself from those low vibrational experiences and systematic approaches that you don't need, because you are in alignment with your higher godliness, which is your Metatronic existence of your, again, the new 3 principles of 5D, of your eternalness. You will always be eternal. You will always be light, and you will always be love. And in that is a harmonic song. It's all a harmonic, it's all a song, it's all directly related with the highest level of light intelligence. Stay at the highest level of light intelligence, capacity and aptitude, and why you're going to keep getting more and more light downloads for you to kind of bring into your beingness. How am I going to use this today? How am I excited to share this today? How am I going to express this today? And then you know that you're following all of your 3 E's to make sure that your momentum is still in alignment of your highest and your best. So everything we teach is very simple. Everything we offer is very pure and simple to the highest levels of Metatronic light. And it always incorporates who we are as being godly. And that was meant to be the original initiations of all downloaded so-called religious texts. It was just higher vibrational texts that were meant to be placed in the collective as higher light learnings. We placed names and religions around it, and then it got all nasty. Because then we saw that it maintained a certain level of control and elitism, if you will. That's when the downfall occurred. So I'm bringing this forward because it's where my whole existence has been, because I have been, again, part of me as being one of the watchers and one of the creator gods is that I've been here since the very earliest of human experiences on the planet. So I've had the energy and the information in my soul's record, along with many of my soul family, to see where did all these systematic breakdowns occur. And that's why I was one of the ones that was offered the Adam Evantine particle agendas and programs. So if you go back to my videos that are labeled Adam Evantine, Adam Eve programs, it gives you an idea of the imbalances of divine feminine masculine energies within the collective. It directly representation is directly correlated to the systematic breakdown, to where were our beliefs so low in ourselves. And it stemmed right from the initial Adam Eve experience, because we separated ourselves from the divine feminine masculine, whatever perspectives we held in our journeys and our sojourns through time. right? We held one another in our perspectives of one another in a less than experience. And then it just continued to perpetuate. And then it began to get within the systems. Because as you're growing in your civilization, you create systems because your civilization needs systems. So now as a collective, everything is vibrational. You will be aligned your vibration. Your vibration within is your vibration without. And that's why, again, those lower vibrational experiences, as we're going to show today, as they showed me, it doesn't matter how much of the lower vibrational experiences these elitism soul harvesters and whatever program they're working within, whether it's a cult, whether it's a coven, whether it's a religion, whether it's government, it doesn't matter where these soul harvesting experiences and systems occur. It doesn't matter how much evidence they try to destroy and try to get rid of. The light will show what needs to be shown, and they will tell on themselves. There will be people that will be charged without any evidence whatsoever. Because our laws are now becoming higher transparent to the universal laws, and God will assure of it. Because it'll just be so blatant. And there'll be so many things around that person that have just gone in disarray, chaos, and death. And it will be a correlated link. And so just understand that we're becoming more and more higher consciousness. When we become higher conscious, we don't need what we thought we needed in 3D law, if you will. Everything will be rewritten to the higher orders of law. And they will be called out, they will be judged, and they're going through very deep karma for the deaths that they have caused before me. I was to be target number 9. And that post that I did this morning, that lady that was killed in a ritual, you know, those are absolutely 100% unnecessary. If she had and watched a few of my videos, and if she had awakened to trust the inner voice that was telling her, don't go on that trip, don't do those tasks for those people, don't think that you have to be initiated. If she had listened to her higher self, she would still be alive today. So that's why it's very important for our platforms to open up, and why and who has been suppressing our information, our wisdoms. Because they don't want you to align with the higher self. The higher self will guide you everywhere and anywhere, and it will be your direct link to all creation. So we're seeing now that all of these aspects of systematic construction, because this is what I'm going to talk about today, systematic construction, where have we been and why? It's all based on consciousness and beliefs. Right? And it stems from the very earliest Adam-Eve project. How did we view ourselves separate from ourselves? Because nobody way back when offered any teachings of unity and oneness of the divine feminine masculine within it. Then it began this whole separative experience and discrimination experience. And then every lifetime through our sojourns, it just got into more systematic low vibrational beliefs. And then it got segmented more. It got segmented in where you were born. It got segmented in what religion you were born in. It got segmented in what color skin you had. It got segmented in what level of income you had. There's so many different discriminations. So we have to see the systematic constructions for what they are. It's very low vibrational. We have to break free. And so here's my channel. How's everybody doing? So this is a very exciting channel because, wow, it's like we're seeing in our collective, this is a shifting point. This is the pivot point. So I'm very, very happy about this. I just have to open my water. I had that on really tight. Everybody take some water. We're going to channel. Thank you, Mother, Father, for my blessing of my water. Thank you, Holy Spirit. My systems are beautifully fed. Thank you, Holy Mother, Father. Are you ready? Here's the channel. And this is from the Systems of Light. So as again, I was reflecting with Spirit. Actually, I wasn't reflecting. I was just sitting there, and I was just going to take a little bit of a few minute nap. And they said, okay, here's a channel. So I said, okay. I was so tired because of all these full moon energy attacks that come every full moon. These people are so immature. They have nothing better to do than attack you on full moon energies. But that's where their consciousness is at. Okay, here we go. Accepting it, acknowledging it. And so they gave me this post because I was saying, okay, because I'm closing out all of these 3D timelines. So this is like a summary synopsis from a higher perspective, collective perspective, because again, I'm a seer for the collective. I'm a crystalline being, an agent to pierce into the lower vibrational collective energies. I deposit light there, I deposit light there, I deposit information there. Therefore, then those lower vibrational systems can break up and make new. And so that's my role as a multi-vibrational hybrid, is I'm a crystalline child, I'm high functioning, I have many aspects of what I do in the collective. And for me, it's been a summary of, okay, let's close those timelines out. Let's close those timelines out. Let's give a synopsis. Okay, where have we been? Where are we at? And where we're going? Because, you know, as new 5D leaders, that's what you want to hear from your leadership. You want to hear, what have we created and why? What are the damages have we created and why? Reclaim our power in the right now. Reclaim all that we are as the right now, the 3 A's, and let's get on with creating a higher vibrational momentum that is healing for the entire collective, and it is aligned with the Trinity. So in essentially, your leadership should be showing you just that. And it's very simple. This is the introduction. This is where we're going. And this is how each and every one of you are involved. Because you are a part of the unity consciousness. And each and every person is responsible to then go within and say, okay, what is my part in this? What am I excited to create? What part of the systems do I want to get involved with? What part of the leadership do I want to be involved with? What part do I want to play? Because God will always give you that infinite part to play, right? Right. I don't have any sugary drinks for the little bees. They get so aggressive this time of year. Okay, so here's the channel. And so I was just in my musing saying, okay, let's close off these timelines. Can you give me a summary to understand all the 3D timelines? So the title of this channel is, from the Systems of Light, Mother, Father, God, Great Changes, Great Human Changes, Elite Soul Harvesting, and the Awakening of Human Intention. So again, that's how you create your reality, is your intention, direction, and focus of your energy. The systems are breaking, don't focus there. You come up there from the higher self perspective and say, okay, how can I get a summary and an overview? So where are we now and how can we create that momentum, right? So it's allowing yourself to raise to the higher consciousness level, your higher self level. If you're aligned with your higher self, there will automatically be downloads of what has occurred. Your higher self always takes you to that higher perspective. That's why though you can tell those that are not aligned with their higher self, because they don't have that higher perspective. So again, that's your discernment, right? So here is the summary. And so the title is Great Changes, Elite Soul Harvesting, understand it, and how it created human systems, the systematic breakdown. And then the awakening for what is known as human intention. What is our collective heart intending? What is the collective asking of our collective? And those that step forward are the answer of the collective asking. And it is through our intention. So that is the creational reality that we're all creating. We are creating an alignment of Metatronic light. We are creating an alignment of ourselves being godly. That is being in the image of the Mother and the Father. At all times, we are divine feminine, we are divine masculine. So again, we're rewriting the liturgies of light. That was back in the original day, we're made in the image of man. We're actually made in the image of God, and God is all things divine feminine, and we're bugs and ants and animals and all those things. Like, let's have respect for all that is life. We cannot birth life without Mother, Father. We cannot birth life, we cannot sustain life without all aspects of who we are as divine feminine, divine masculine. And that was left out, as I said earlier, to the original project of Adam Eve project, and how we began to discriminate and discern ourselves because it was such a low vibrational consciousness. So it's just a natural progress of our evolution. So we're ready for new light liturgies. And so here we go. And this is directly related. As I open up into this introduction, I was seeing the overview of the overview energy is understanding the breaking of the pillars, the breaking of the systematic abuses. So I gave you an introduction. How did systematic abuse begin? Systematic abuse is in everything that is a system. And so just see that way, because it's low consciousness, right? And they have intentions and motives. Their intentions and motives were to serve themselves. Their intentions and motives were power over others. Their intentions and motives were not to take accountability. Their intentions and motive to see themselves who they are not, because again, they're not healing their wounding. So you know why the systematic abuses occurred, because it's all in wounding. There is no balance in the divine feminine masculine inner self, as above, so below, and as within, so without. There is a higher order of teaching. There is a higher order of creating new systems. There is a higher order of creating new earth. And each person is responsible. How do I choose to align with new earth? Okay, so this is the overview. This is the channel. They have been abusing you since you were a child, testing your resilience to deconstruction tactics. Canadian and American governments share information on selected high-performing and celestial embodied beings, which they knew I was. And my parents were involved in kind of a misguided, misinformed signing of government testing. And therefore, thus then it gave them access to do so. Solutions So solutions to the traumas and abuses. So again, part of my role in that testing was for the government. So this is a part of soul harvesting that I have to explain. So this is where they're saying, so that gives you that intro of where the governments were involved in the testing of me, in the knowing of who I was, and then moving into the secret societies to further their targeting and abuses. Their reasons were a multi-purposeful. How much could I resolve my own abuses? Right? They put me under abuse. They put me under special taxing information. They put me through special navigational obstacles that I didn't have to go through. They wanted to see as a high functioning being, as a high, as a ultra human, how would I navigate, and how many obstacles and challenges can I overcome? How many diseases can I overcome? How many infrastructures of degradation and abuses can I overcome? Absolutely inhumane. Absolutely inhumane. It's like purposely putting you through as if Divine Feminine has enough that we have to challenge through. Being in a physical body is enough that we have to challenge through, especially in low consciousness. But then they do systematic testing and systematic experimenting. And then they get secret societies, and those that are in the systems of whatever city you live within that are also paid to ensure that you stay within that system of abuse. And everybody there's so many people that are working in government social systems that do social work. We call it here in Canada, we call it social work, where they are trained in psychology, they are trained in early childhood counseling and abuses and things like that. And they're a part of the government social system abuses to go out and help families and to create better systems. And even the social workers say that, wow, there's so much breakage here, that we've been a part of our own creational systematic breakdown. And so my story is just, they're showing me the background, the backdrop of how and why governments, Canadian and American governments, because we are the Western world, if you will, Canadian and American governments do share some of these studies on their findings and those ones that they test and those ones that they experiment on. So they were just giving me that information. Part of their intention and part of their motive was to see how many solutions I can come up to various aspects of trauma, to various aspects of abuses, and to know that they can then benefit the people that are doing the testing, the people that are doing the so-called government testing, and they make it sound like it's for medicine, they make it sound like it's for higher practices, but it's really not. It's just they're benefiting off the harvesting of your soul experience. They're benefiting off of you going through all the shit, you going through all the trauma, you going through all the abuse, and then they get to see how you're going to arise from it. They're going to see how you transcend it. They're going to see how you persevere through trauma, how you persevere through the most infinite and impossible obstacles. How I survived, Spirit said, very few would have ever survived. It was literally impossible. The only way I survived was God, Source Creator. And my harmonization I had with Source. Because they intended it to be an impossible task. They intended all of my platforms to have so many checks and balances that very few people could find me. That they would find the last check somehow. If people had to go and look through 5 or 6 searches, that they would have so many blocks and hurdles before they got to one of my videos. Or the people managing the videos would have a veil over it or a ban over it, so that there's only being like 0.001% of people can actually access me. And then because my video platform is pilfered, even if they do find my video, they're still pilfering out some of my videos. So whoever goes and sees it is pilfered to another fake page of the people that are managing me. Again, they're managing me like I'm some sort of fucking lab rat. So all of the governments now are being called out because I'm showing everybody what they do and how they do it, who they're affiliated with and why they're affiliated with, YouTube corruption and all the secret society corruptions, and how many people go in and play manager on somebody's life. And how what exactly they're doing is, as they showed me, when you draw out the infinity, it's negative, 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 negative. They are bringing so much dark, negative imbalance to their systems, to their collective light, and I'll show you later. They're bringing so much negative systems, it's become utterly socially imbalanced, and therefore the red flags go off to the legions. There has to be a change made, and there will be divine intervention. Because they showed me that the light workers and the crystalline children that are brought here in minimum number for us to ignite and for us to change and to inspire new systems, but because we're put through such horrible, already taxing and impossible obstacles to overcome, so many taxing and horrible abuses, molestation and sexualization and all of the things that we're put through just for their kicks and giggles, so they can get the information, so they can get the learning and teaching, so they can get to know how to do things, because they're too arrogant to own up to, well, why don't we just call her in and have her in for a class or two? Why doesn't she teach us? But there's so much arrogance, there's so much misogyny, and there's so much low vibrational control and power, egoism, that they run these secret programs and secret experiments. They take the information, the research, and the output that it's all my life. I don't get credit for it. I get banned. I don't get paid. And they're treating me like a literal slave. And that's called elite soul harvesting. And it happens in every fabric of our systematic experience. It's seen everywhere. And so those of us that are brought with higher vibrational light, those of us that are brought as ultra humans in God's divine plan, we are brought here to break up the densities, to break up the corruption, to break up the absolute abhorrent experiences. And then we're meant to create those momentums for humanity to break through, and let's keep going, let's keep going. But because there's been such a bottleneck of suppression and control and domination due to the leaders and their systematic systems, Area 51, and all of the agendas they have to control humanity, all of the agendas they have to own the hybrid and the light beings and the light workers' energy, to hone the information we have, to hone the wisdoms we have, to hone the vibrational platforms we have, to hone our ideas, to hone our inventiveness. And then they run off and they go make, as I said earlier, those that manifest off patterns, they come and look at our video, they get all the ideas and they run off because they've got all the resources and they've got all the people, and they go and get themselves an invention and call it theirs. It's not fucking theirs. You're not vibrationally aligned with it, and you're going to fail in about 3 years. Because you're not vibrationally aligned. You have no idea who source is. You have no idea who spirit is. Your intention was to make money. Your intention was not to serve the greater good. Therefore, boom, 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 you're all going. Bye. There has to be a higher vibrational alignment for all of those that were brought in God's divine plan, the 144,000. And this is why they've been tracking the 144,000. Because they want to maintain control of the energy. They want to maintain control of the information and wisdoms going out, because they benefit from humanity being in certain segments of consciousness. So they run those of us that are of high elite vibrational consciousness, and they run us through these ridiculous, impossible constructs. And then they pay lower vibrational secret societies to continue attacking us. So then they see, okay, well, if humanity can get through that, maybe we can create a system like this. And then they further perpetuate the darkness and the constraints. Therefore, thus then things come out like COVID or intentional viruses to then further impede the physical bodies, because they understand that the physical body requires some light. And if you're not training your body in light, then your body gets run down and therefore easily attacked by the secret society groups that systematic attack. They're very systematic in their deconstruction. They're very systematic on what they throw at you and why and when and how. And they have the resources and they have the people. So all of this is coming out. It has to be seen and acknowledged. So now we're at the point right now where divine intervention, those of us that have been abused for our entire lives, those of us that have had every curse and ritual thrown at us, those of us that have been purposefully and intentionally sent to those that practice voodooism, occultism, those in the secret society abuses, and those in the spiritual hitmen experiences, witches and warlocks, those people have been paid by the affiliations of the government because they knew who we were, and they kept putting us through various systematic assessments. Systematic tests to see how much we could survive, how resilient are we, what answers do we come up with, because then we are the actual leaders. We are the ones that are saying, this is how we do it, humanity. We can move through anything. But they don't give us any credit. They don't give us any pay. They don't lift us up. They actually degrade us farther and farther and farther, and they take all of our energy. They take all of our ideas. They take all of the experiences, and then they make it their own. They get the benefit. They get the energy. They get all the ideas and the inventiveness, and then it becomes theirs. The light workers slowly get degraded in their light, because how much can a light worker fucking take? So Spirit showed me that the infinity was going down and down and down, because it was nothing but negative. Taking, raping, harvesting. There's been no neutrality in any of this. I've come forward for 10 years to say this stuff is happening. At what point does anybody get fucking justice? At what point? At what point? Because your laws say we need proof that somebody's abusing you, I'm telling you there's abuse fucking going on. Does it have to wait for a woman to show up dead in Haiti and for everybody to absolutely say that was a ritual death? Didn't have to happen. It's happening all the time, but they make it look mysterious so nobody has a clue to it. There's so much white collar crime, it's not funny. because they're benefiting off all the ways that they fucking abuse us. Everybody that was involved in my discrimination case, they veiled every part of me being seen to the entire collective. There was a lot of money put for me not to be seen by the collective. There was many agendas to exploit me in the underground because they made money off trading my name and my energy back and forth. They made money to exploit me in videos to see how much damage they could do to me, to see what spells were working, what rituals were not working, how was my speech impeded, how was my energy impeded, how was I impeded as a person. They would then exploit it in the underground, and all of those people would make money off it because they were the ones that were saying to the underground cults and covens and satanic fuck shit, say that we're doing this ritual on her this week. Let's see if we can exploit her and see how we're affecting her, how our darkness and our hate is affecting this one profound light being. And then they pass the numbers and the bids around, and this is how the whole underground got then perpetuated. Another systematic abuse. So not only was I put in the government fucking fuck systems, not only was I why bringing my light, bringing my intelligence, bringing my wisdom was a gift to creation, was a gift to humanity, because I can see the whole multiverse and I offered it to everybody freely and unconditionally. Not only was I done such fucking damage by the own fucking government that they're not accounting for it, they're not owning up to it. They pay these secret societies in the cities I lived within to isolate me, to slow dagger me. And then they make up the false claims that I'm the one that was to blame for all of the abuse. So again, how is a person supposed to survive that? The psychological fuck shit trauma is, again, Spirit said there's few that would have survived. This happens to women every day. This happens to crystalline children every day. When you do speak out, you're then further impeded and targeted. Then you have people that actually think, in many of my videos, the one that I put on all the time, that I say same message. When I say that people that are in secret societies and secret occult dark practices and abuses, they think that when they send people out to do their sacrificing, that they're dumping their karma and they're dumping their weight onto an innocent, vulnerable being that they don't know what they're doing. That's why these ringleaders will be the hardest hit with karma. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly the manipulation they're doing. They send these younger new initiates out to do their minion work, just as the governments are making these ringleaders do their minion work. So now who's the ringleaders now in this experience? This shift, God is now the ringleader. God had to come in for divine intervention because God placed those of us in light, those of us that are crystalline beings, here for human collective evolution, and we've been abused right from the get-go. When we do speak out, it's abhorrent abuse. When we do speak out, it's abhorrent, absolute backfire. When we do speak out, we're sabotaged in our platforms, we're sabotaged in our income, we're sabotaged in every fucking way. I have to do extra transmuting on full moons and new moons because you better bet there's groups of 5 or 10 that are passing around a little piece of paper to say, this is what we're going to do on her this week. We're going to send a new initiate out to Haiti somewhere. We're going to send a new initiate somewhere out there, and we're going to do some soul swapping, gift swapping stuff. And we're going to take that light workers. We're going to take that Empress's light away. We're going to take that Empress's gifts away. We're going to take that Empress's hybrid functioning away, and we're going to give it to a low vibrational dark ass person. Now, do you think if a dark-ass person doesn't have any of their chakras awake, that doesn't have anything going on in their fields but darkness and hate, because they're so very wounded, they're nothing but a dark blob. Their chakras are not rotating, their chakras are not aligned because they're not aligned with their higher self. Do you think that anybody sitting in dark, sacrificial darkness of being attacked and being paid to attack and taking money to attack an innocent being paid money to target the mother of your children, do you think that anybody that is absolutely not one fractal of light, do you think that they could actually carry what is light? They wouldn't be able to carry even 1 ounce of my gifts because they're not aligned with spirit. How could they even have my gifts? It's just the vessel and the light doesn't match. Why? There's no DNA allocation. Your DNA is your intelligence. If your DNA is not activated, if you're not activating your DNA, if you're not healing your soul fragments, if you're not calling in light, if you don't understand anything about multidimensional healing, if you don't understand about quantum reality, if you don't understand anything about who you are as God, what you exist within as God, is all that is God, you're not getting it. And so these people in these lower systematic experience, because they're wounded, because they're not doing their healing, they're becoming more and more in their psychosis break. It's being seen every day. They then think, because they're giving their power and they think that they're getting power from whoever they give their energy, power to, and money to, that these people are going to give them whatever they say, as if they have any say over anybody's consciousness, which is utterly ridiculous. But again, those people that don't know how to work with light, those people that are not reclaiming their power every hour, they are vulnerable to idiots that think they are ringleaders and have say over anybody's life, and they're fucking not. I'm telling those ringleaders that think they have say over anybody's life, you're fucking not. You're not ranked, and you will be brought down so harsh. You will be brought down for every death. You will be brought down for every sabotage. You will be brought down for every loss. You will be brought down for every damage. You will be brought down for every day that my life was delayed in getting my light, getting my teachings and healings out to the collective. Every day that my platform is shadow banned. Every day that millions cannot reach my videos. Every day that is being touched on my life by everybody. Everybody's getting karma. Everybody. And I say it every video, and it's unfolding every day. It's not me. It is the substrates of the light showing you. Your behavior, your beliefs, your tactics, your practices are not matching the purity of omni light. That omni light will show you your intention of everything you put out. If you're conjuring hate, if you're doing sacrifice, if you're bidding and selling life because you want something from that, those are the most abhorrent, disgusting, vile beliefs, and it is absolutely going against the natural order of law in the universe. Doesn't matter how much evidence you think you're hiding. The natural order of the universe will assure that there will be the evidence needed to absolutely make sure that you will be exactly where you need to be. You need to be in a psych ward, you need to be doing your healing, and you need to be in jail. Because it is the systematic abuse monsters that they have bred. These leaders have bred these systematic monsters because they were the ones that didn't make it like me. They were the ones that were tested on just like me, and they didn't make it. They fell into the sacrifice of the beings and the deities that they've been tested against. I became their higher selves because I survived that alignment. Everything I teach is absolutely all we need on planet Earth to heal every disease, to never ever have another death due to dumb-ass sacrificing. Anybody that does sacrificing and initiations, run the fuck the other way. These people will be shifted out. They're being shown every day. It is a part of systematic abuse because we chose to give our power away. And there is actually governments that are involved in paying these secret societies to abuse innocent people. So Spirit showed me the infinity, and I said, well, this is the red flag. There was an infinity, and Spirit said negative, 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 and the infinity was like this. It wasn't balanced. There's no balance. There's no neutralization going on anywhere on the fucking planet. The light workers are saying, we're exhausted. We've had enough. And why every day I come on and I say, share our videos. You're not going to abuse light workers. Light workers have a voice. Light workers are merely seeing whatever is in the light is showing whatever is in the dark. We're merely just speaking it. You're the one that's getting your karma because those are your choices. Those are your beliefs. If you just do a bit of research on quantum mechanics, you can understand that who you are and what you're vibrating is going to bounce it right back to you. But those people with such disconnected beliefs about who they are and their narcissistic, sociopathic, and God complex, they don't take ownership and responsibility for anything. Therefore, then they won't heal. They're not taking an ounce of accountability. Just like the governments. So again, the governments have manifested their own monster. The governments will be absolutely 100% accountable. They're going to be accountable. Everybody in a secret society, if I was in a secret society and I was at the stage of alter course immediately, if I was in those secret societies, I would have altered courses. I would be writing everybody's name down and involved of what you've been involved with, and I would get it to the authorities. I would make a video about it, and I would bring it out in the open right away. Because you're clearing your karma and saying, this has to be released. If you bottleneck it and hold it back, it's going to be 10 times the tower. Why? Because the energies don't match. The infinity of what the omnipresent is so pure. The omnipresent is showing you pure omnipresent energy requires a pure leader like myself, requires a pure healer like myself. There's a match. But why? I've been held back and I've been suppressed. The infinity goes down, goes down, goes down. So there's going to come a point where the divine intervention just pull me out and take me out. I'll go to another Earth, I'll go to another planet and let Earth sit in the mess that it is. And again, it will go into extinction. If everybody in secret societies and everybody in the government drew out infinity on every action they did, they would see the infinity look like this because it's so weighed down in their darkness. And they will not get out. It will be self-extinction. It's just quantum mechanics, assholes. So what is your choice? What is your choice? You're going to continue leading the countries like assholes? Or are you actually going to draw out what you do and how you lead the people? How you abuse people's money, how you abuse your power, how you abuse those in secret societies. It's very blatant, and this is where we are right now. There is a huge human awakening. There has been a lot of systematic abuse. We allowed it. We have to acknowledge it. We're going to accept something better. Well, this is where we're at right now. Okay, we got to accept it. It's part of our story. How can we make it better? Where were we? Where we are now? And where's the momentum for new systems? It's all purposeful. Celebrate the breaking. This is in my story. They have been abusing you since you were a child, and they've been testing you for your resilience to their deconstruction tactics. Canadian and American governments share their information on selected high-performing, high ultra-human, that's the word Spirit gave me, ultra-human experiences of those that have their DNA upgraded every generation, right? And that's just a part of the 144 human evolution plan. We have to have higher vibrational beings. Otherwise, these people are running the planet into utter extinction. And this is where they don't get it. They're so fucking arrogant. They're arrogant they're arrogant is overweighing the basic intelligence. They would rather go into their self-demise than do the right thing. That's how arrogant these leaders are. And so you have to ask yourself, are you sure they're meant to be leaders? You're willing to go into extinction. You're willing to run everybody into the fucking ground. You're willing to give purposeful disease and intention. And the beings that have been brought to you that you've been systematically abusing and systematically testing and systematically enslaving, they're the ones that are going to be moving you through and moving everybody through to higher vibrational systems where everything is a win-win. And yet we're the ones that are tested on, we're the ones that are suppressed, and we're the ones that abuse the most. So that we live in a car and it's just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm out. I get nothing. My only kickback is from God. I get nothing. I get abused from the systems. I get abused from people in reality. My systems and my divine unconditional offerings don't get seen. Who the fuck's going to stay? And so those that choose to have done those programs, those that choose to be in those cults, those that choose to be in neo-Nazi hate groups, that was their intention, they will be shifted out where that will be their immediate extinction and demise. Because God is going to move me and those like myself that have all we've done is brought light and bring truth. And we will be moved to those collectives that say, hey, we need your leadership. Let's open this up. Let's go. And they will have the respect and the appreciation to give us our credit, to give us our money, and absolutely not treat us like we're fucking slaves for your benefit. Just to see how you can abuse us and use us more. To see how much more resilience and how much more capabilities we have to get out of your fucking obstacles. You're fucking abhorrent, disgusting leaders of the government when you watch my videos. I'm calling each and every one of you out. You're getting karma times 10 every day. You don't do the right thing. You owe me a lifetime of recompense. And you better be on the floor praying every day you get home for God's repentance. And your own repentance to move you in an altered course. All of these people have karma that I would never wish on anybody. And I'm calling it out for each and every one of them. What I went through was utter disgust for anybody that would ever say, boy, this is a fun place to live. Let's come here. But I was used as a sacrificial lamb, and that was the intention of God's plan. Why? Because God knew that my light will pull every corrupt ass program up from the underbelly of creation. And it wasn't fun. Nobody could have survived it. Nobody could have done it but me. I was a sacrificial lamb for the entire collective. So I had to go places into darkness that nobody else could have gone or survived. So that God could have every one of these people, every one of these leaders, every one of these false-ass leaders, every one of their false-ass systems of deconstruction and slow dagger, every single one of these people, God's got you right where you want, right where God wants you. Make no mistake about that. You're not going nowhere. God's got you pinned. So as I said, everybody right now in our social collective, there is an alter course now moment. As we said 2 years ago, the time was up. This is an alter course now. It's shifting. And that's what they called this last part was the human awakening. Because we will see the systematic abuse through the survivors like myself. And this goes on to the children and to women every day, and their stories don't get heard. The governments that sign you up for things, the governments that have been doing what they've been doing very abhorrently and inhumanely that they have no right in doing. If you look at the evolutionary plan for humanity, everything within a government system should be doing everything it can to uplift and heal the people, uplift and heal the the land. And how do you do that in its highest form? Through love and light. Compassion and forgiveness. Nobody operates in this manner. Why? Because they're working in the systems where they want to keep humanity suppressed. They've tested on how far a human can go. That's why the normal humans that are not ultra-human like myself and not coded like myself, they didn't survive. And they've now succumbed to their demons. They now have succumbed to the beings and the entities and the deities that they were also tested on. It's all a test. And only the toughest will survive. So the message is alter course, or you will be moved. You're going to be moved anyways. Because of your intention and your vibration is to harm and hold back absolutely humanity's progress to the highest evolution. Never ever give your power away to anybody that thinks they're big daddy, pimp daddy, and you're giving your power to this person that knows a few Bible verses. You don't know shit. Because higher consciousness is Metatronic light, you're not there. Because you want to gather people around you to make you feel safe. No, your pulpit is filled with destruction and vileness. You're not godly. I'm calling you out. I don't give a fuck how much money you got behind you. You're not godly. You're gathering your little minions around you to see what you can do and how you can do it to gather a little more minions around you. You're misogynistic and you're not going where you think you're going to go. You're operating from poor, vile intentions and motives. And I'm calling you out because you have to be called out. You have many woundings within you. These cult and secret society leaders, there are many wounds within you that if you alter course right now, you can heal and get back on track. There is no more window. There's no more door. There is no more opportunities. Many of these people that have been abusing me from the beginning, they have lost their divinity. They will not come into a light timeline. They will not come into a light body. They will not be offered into the heavens. Period. That's how much damage has been done. It is very vital at this point that teachers and healers like myself get access to as many people as possible. Because the truths are simple. The operation of reclaiming your power is very simple, and it is how we become our highly godliness. There is so much deconstruction and falling away that is happening from our old systems and our old systematic abuses that people are going to need. How do we get back to our normal? How do we get back to this new compass? Where is this new pillar? Where are the new compass points? How do I get back on track? I didn't have any of that. That's why I was a sacrificial lamb. I had to go through the fucking fire 700 times. So that I can say, this is how we do it. And we're calling judgment on every single secret society abuse, the stuff that occurs in secret societies, the stuff that occurs in your corrupt environments, the things that occur in corrupt work environments. Call every ounce of corruption when it happens. Get out your journals, start logging it all, and then start expressing it. Go to the authorities, go with your screenshots, make your blog. The more that humanity rises up and speaks on what's going on, it has no power over us. And then it slowly dissipates and moves away. Because again, the light is so much more. The light of somebody that's turned on and saying, no, I'm going to be my highest version of me. Nothing has power over me. That's why every time there's a full moon and new moon, these people get together and they gather and they pay money and they do all these things and they celebrate far too soon because they think their sacrifice on me that next day is going to work. I'm going to always be here, assholes. You will never take me out in your fucking sacrifices. When are you going to learn? Every video I've said the same thing. You will never sacrifice me. You'll never swap my destiny. You have not earned it. You will not take an ounce of my gifts. Why? Because everything that you are is being turned off into darkness. You won't even touch my light, ever. You will no longer human test me. You're no longer going to human sabotage me. You're no longer going to do your dehumanizing bullshit experiments. I'm not going to show you the fucking way anymore, corrupt governments. You've had every opportunity to come through the door, to come through the window, to come through the portal and say, Joanna, we want to have you in the government. Let's do some intelligent, light education to everybody in the country. Let's get this going. But you didn't. You still hid behind your abuses. You still hid behind being not accountable. You still hid behind being an arrogant person and still attacking me and receiving and actually giving nothing in return. You have used me, you have used me, you have used me, and you have abused me. So what do you think your outcome is going to be for a divine intervention to come in and rebalance that fucking scale? What do you think the divine intervention is going to be? Watch God pull all the stops. Everybody's talking about it. There'll be so many stops that will be pulled. Why? It's the rubber band effect. Quantum mechanics, you've created a bottleneck, assholes. So what do you think is going to happen? That's why I say every video, draw it out. You are going into your own demise. If you keep doing what you're doing and you do not alter course, you will have your own demise and it will be self-extinction. However, God wants to play it with you because God is the only one that will distribute karma to you, because God knows exactly how many fucking souls you have affected. Every day that I do not get out to that collective and my teachings are not heard and felt, they're going through the exact things that I went through, and they have nobody to look to. Get my teachings, share my channel, send the feedback to YouTube. YouTube corruption. You are absolutely going to get karma as well, YouTube, because you are involved in it. Anybody that is involved in secret society abuse and you do nothing about it, everybody that is involved and you do nothing about it, you have karma. We are a collective of one. I come forward with my passionate teachings, unconditional every day. Everything in our collective is healable. And there are cults and groups and sects and pods that think they play God, and they're trying to keep as much of humanity down so they can harvest us as much as possible. They'll sell our ideas. They'll sell our inventiveness. They'll sell our names. They'll exploit this. They'll exploit that. The children are being sold. The children are being traded. Our ideas are being suppressed. Our platforms are being suppressed. Our platforms are being pilfered. How much do you think a fucking person, one person can take? How much do you think one person can take? And then any blessing I do get, they steal it from me and they go into courts and they make false claims about how crazy I am. No due diligence. Nobody's ever come to me. I'm a genius. I'm 10 times smarter than everybody and all of you put together as one. Test me. You want to test me? You can't test me. Why? Because I'm multidimensional. Your test means shit. I'll sue each and every one of you. Each and every one of you, I'm going to sue each and every one of you. I don't care what your fucking ranking is. And God will make sure each and every one of you will have life sentences. Because you didn't just affect the highest vibrational consciousness being on the planet with the highest multiverse wisdoms that were given to everybody freely for many, many years and decades. I was brought here to raise the consciousness vibration, and all I was attacked. So how's that serving you, geniuses? How's that serving you? And you draw it out. How's that going to serve you? Does that sound like something that's win-win? Again, you're working yourself into self-demise, so you're going to be shifted off so you can play all those little games with all your other little people and all your little minds and all your little misogyny and all your little wounds, because you've been given a lot of opportunities to heal and change and to bring in unity consciousness, but you chose not to. You chose to continue attacking, segregating, discriminating, separating, and attacking and abusing, stealing the innocent people's money. So God's going to pull out all the stops. There has to be divine intervention. And this is the channel. So they watched me, and they obviously tracked me and spied and all the crap that they do, because they knew that I was coming up with solutions to traumas, abuses, because they benefit from seeing me go through their fucking obstacle course, go through their aversions and go through their obstacle course. And then they pay these idiots to do false claims like I'm crazy. Well, if I'm transmuting and if I'm transcending and I'm actually healing people that were never ever healable, if I am so crazy, then a crazy person would have never done these things. A crazy person would have never got out of all of your government fucking obstacles. I'm smarter than all of you put together times 10. I dare all of you. I dare all of those people that are doing this fucking disgusting deconstruction attributes. I dare all of you. I dare all of you. Have me in your offices and let's have a fucking discussion. You and all your little exploitation and your illegal surveillance thing, cameras. Absolutely have me in your fucking office. And I will show you absolutely who's crazy. God's going to pull out all the stops. God will show everybody who's crazy. Each and every one of these people that have been doing these systematic deconstructions, every single one of them are wounded. Every single one of them do not want to look at who they are as a divine feminine, divine masculine. Even some of the judges and even some of the police, they were doing very egregious things in the underground and behind closed doors because they didn't want what they were doing behind closed doors to get onto the public. And so what do? They just move their mess around and they take more lies and make more false claims to the ones that are actually speaking truth, that are here to raise the vibration. No, you will be found out. You will be pierced with light. Why? Because you're damaging an entire fucking community and you're putting poison into the community. Why don't you just own who you are and get healed? You could do that. Then you can bring an even infinity balance to yourself, but you don't. You just keep hiding and you keep perpetuating lies and you keep perpetuating deceit and you keep perpetuating hiding yourself and bringing false claims to the end. It's the ones that are actually claiming good light. No, we are the leaders of New Earth, and you will be moved. You will be shaken because you were given chances to alter your course. No more of humanity will be held back because of your ignorance. The universal laws don't care about your ignorant beliefs and your unhealed misogyny. Why don't you go within and heal yourself, and then you see where your course is going to alter itself? You abuse one of the highest consciousness beings on the planet. How is that going to serve you as win-win? Okay, well, you got a bit more money in your pocket. It makes you feel all powerful to abuse a woman and to abuse the mother of children. So what does that do? That still gets you a lose-lose, because you will have negative karma immediately. Higher light, higher refined light's going to hit you. Boom, 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 boom. Your negative conjuring, your devil conjuring, your satanic conjuring, your devil-ass voodoo, it's hitting you in your intention, in your cells, and in your bodies, and in your molecules, and in your brain functioning. You're going insane. If each and every one of you were to be tested, you would absolutely see mental disorder, mental imbalance, mental disease, and each and every one of you will have imbalances. Go get tested. Go get assessed. And yet all of their false claims and all of these people were living off of my monies because nobody thought to come and actually talk to me and see me. Why? Well, because they had just signed false papers that I was dead, or I was crazy, or I was insane, and I was put in an infirmatory. Nobody came and checked. Nobody came and talked to me. Nobody came and got signatures. Nobody verified my signatures. Nobody verified my story. So many abuses on every level. These people miss nothing. So if I'm so crazy, why did I get out of every one of your fucking obstacles? And why God is going to keep moving me away from you people? I'm just going to keep moving farther and farther away. Because they want to be more and more egregious. Then it's going to get into the physical attacks. Okay, so you physical attack, and how's that going to work for you? Anything that you come up with, I will say, draw it out, and you will see your demise. So you can put out your hate all you want, and you can be in your misogyny all you want. You can be in your ignorance all you want, and you can be with you there sitting in your puffy chairs with your little bars on your sleeve, and you can say and do and be whatever you think you fucking are. But I'm saying you're not ranked. You will be moved out because you've been nothing but egregious to humanity. I was here as a gift from the multiverse. I was here as a gift because I speak all languages. I speak to all beings. I'm here for the upliftment of all humanity, of all healing systems, of all wisdoms, of all intelligences. Why? Because I'm a fucking gift from Creator. And you've abused me from the day that I was born. You've suppressed monies while I sat homeless, while I sat transmuting your fucking hate every day. And there's children and there's women that don't make it out. I'm speaking on behalf of every light worker that gets abused every day. So speak about secret society abuse. It doesn't have any power over you. Never did, never will. Doesn't matter what government, doesn't matter how fancy they think they are, doesn't matter how much money, doesn't matter how many people they got working on their side. They don't have an ounce of fucking say. God's pulling out all the stops. Even if they're destroying evidence right now, because they are, many of these high vibrational people, or these high elite people that are in these little groups that are paying the money to all their little minions, they're now trying to destroy all of the evidence of their abuses over me over decades. And all the others they've abused that didn't make it. They went crazy. They went insane. They've actually used some of those people to attack me. They didn't make it through. Their mind was not strong enough with source. They were systematically attacked just like me, but they detached from their mind with source. They were not harmonized with source. I am. You'll never sacrifice me, assholes. You don't get it. There's two options. You're going to go a dharmic path, where you're doing the right thing and you're healing and you're altering course, or you will do the karmic path and you're going to keep doing what you're doing. And as I said from day one, you will absolutely manifest your demise, and it will be your own extinction. There is a moving out, there is a shifting out, because humanity is awakening. These are systematic abuses. I'm one of them. I'm a survivor. Few would have survived what I went through, and I'm coming forward to speak about it. It has to be spoken about. I'm calling these governments out. I'm calling the secret societies that abuse people. I'm calling those people out. I'm calling neo-Nazi hate people that have so much wounding because they were abused. I'm calling these people out. How about you heal and see how your life changes? There's no more window, there's no more door. It's now. And the big shift is happening now. And it's all vibration. Every person is responsible for their vibration. And they called this is Spirit's words, not mine. They called this elite soul harvesting. And it's been going on right from earlier than 1950. Earlier than 1950. Capturing such truths, which is what I do. I offer it, I download it, I offer it, I channel it, and then I offer it to you. So I'm capturing the truths of what Spirit told me and what of my own human experience is. Capturing such truths will bring light and shift the dynamic on your planet. It would not matter if my channel was still blocked or I got stalked or shadow banned. The government ran watch programs when the abusers that have gone far beyond abuse to overkill, because the systems were saying, we watch them. So although the governments think that they're the watchers of us, of small peons in the collective, and they run the money, they have the people's money to run targeting systems, they have the people's money to run experimenting systems, they have the people's money to run human experimenting and human testing, they have all of that. And they think that they're the watchers of all humanity, and they're the ones that are manipulating and controlling the human collective direction, and they're not. So that's what the Spirit was saying. It would not matter if my channel was still blocked or if I got shadow banned, or the governments think that they run the watch program when they have done far beyond overkill abuses. Just know that we watch them. All are getting called out now, and justice will be brought in the reclaiming of each and every one of you, reclaiming your sovereignty and reclaiming your light. You have the right to live safely, each and every one of you. That is your universal right. As you're aligned with universal laws, your universal right in its opposite is saying, if I live in this vibration, this is my truth, I have the right to live safely. I'm intending that. That universe will show it to you, and that universe will support and protect you. You have the right to live sovereignly. You have the right to live safely. And within your own human Bill of Rights that are meant to be upheld, and also by the universal laws and the universal life that exists within all the universal laws. We have universal laws. Why? Well, because there's a universal life. God knows what God's doing. There's universal laws because there's an infinite universal life. All we have to do is follow universal laws. We know it has been incredibly disappointing, a disappointing experience, and all that has been played on you, and it's been very damaging in many ways. All will be brought into balance because there has to be. There's divine intervention. It has to be brought back into balance. Everything will be brought back into balance, and the sacrifices that you have made for your collective will be brought forward in profound human awakening. So my story coming forward, my story in expressing it, experiencing it, and showing all of you that you can do it, that you can align with Source Creator, that will create a diverse change within the entire collective. So again, share my videos. I am the way shower. I am the maverick to show new ways in this new momentum. We are breaking free, and the human collective is awakening to the abuses that have occurred. You're not meant to live an entire life of bad luck. You're not meant to live an entire life of never receiving. You know that something's going on. If you live a life where in most all modesty, you live in alignment of doing unto others as you do unto you, and that you still live in never receiving and being sick all the time and all of those things, those are systems, and those are people that are impaling you with such to keep you bound because they have a financial motive, because they have a financial intention, which is everybody from Calgary, my ex, and everybody that my ex is involved with. The ringleaders and the witches and the warlocks. Everything they did was for their own self-gain intention and motives. And they were paid. 50 people got paid in and out of whatever their intentions and their deconstruction systems of slow dagger on me, sacrificing on me, sabotaging on me, taking from me, false claims on me, falsifying claims left, right, and center on me, isolating on me, mind scraping on me, voodoos and rituals on me, sacrifices and in infinite number of ways. Close to 400 now rituals they've done on me. People are getting paid left, right, and center. People are getting paid left, right, and center in the policing and judges and lawyers and real estate. No due diligence done whatsoever to even come and talk with me. Everybody's getting called out. It's gonna be, oh, God. Oh, we told you. All we can say is we told you so. We told you so. Go back to my videos. Look at the dates on my fucking videos, and my channel is still suppressed. You'd think these people would just be, that's just how ignorant these people are. They're so enraptured in their entity attachments and their demons and their ego. They have no care about how many people they're hurting. They don't care that they've cursed their lineage. They don't care they're coming back into sick bodies and demented minds. They don't care. So that has to play in equal opposite. That has to play to the human story. Have we come normalized so much to the systematic abuse that we allow this to be okay? Have we given so much power to the governments that we've allowed secret abuse to be okay? Have we normalized the erasing of divine feminine for this to be okay? When you are in the presence, as I said in one of my videos, when you're in the presence of a master, in a normal circumstance, you would be bowed to and people would sit at your feet for whatever teaching you are offered. And you would be in such gratitude and appreciation, and there would be gifts at your feet because people are so grateful to feed the manna of that day. The intelligence of the sacred Trinity always being offered in unconditional light and purity of perfection. But it's been absolutely the opposite simply because of the leaders of the systems, because they're so fucking wounded. There's absolutely disconnection of who they are with their higher self. There's no connection on any level. There's no connection with Source Creator. There is no connection with compassion. There is no connection with empathy. There is no connection with higher intelligence. And so then you say again, are these really the people that should be leading and writing systems for the people? They're in charge of the people's money. They're in charge of people's laws and programs. There are some of the people that I've logged in their license plate numbers that absolutely log back and track back to being government employees. So how does that look that this person paid to come and stalk me, the same place, twice, parked next to me in the same place twice, so they knew where I was. They parked right next to me intentionally twice, same time, twice. No liberation, no liberties to my freedom of will, no liberties to me at all. Then that being who was an elite white-collar criminal, white-collar job, white-collar official, pulled out his dick and began to jack off. And if you go back to the earlier Epstein videos, some of the videos of people that were in alignment with their higher self and that were interviewing with Epstein, they had similar experiences where they would force and they would project the nasty, disgusting sexual experiences on you to see how you would break. Because they would see how obnoxious and abrasive can we get with you to see how easily swayable you are. It's called deconstruction mind scraping, and they do these things. The people's money goes towards this. If you go back and there's investigations done on Epstein, that's why it's not being talked about. That's why it's still being hidden. The monies that went behind to make Epstein who he was in the crass ways that he had been brought forward to many people to see how easily he could manipulate and get people into his little crime ring. It's no different than what my ex did. A whole bunch of people were fooled because he knew how to manipulate people. So they do these crass sexual experiences to see how easily swayable are you. So I took down his license plate number and I got in my car and I turned off and I took pictures of his car. And then I went to the police station and I reported it, and he's been logged in the police report twice because he did it twice. And then he sat beside me the third time and sat right behind my car across the street, as if that's supposed to scare me. And he probably jacked off and did the same thing because that's just how stupid and ignorant he is. He got paid by government people. So that's where the people's money is going? For you to intimidate a healer, a light worker, an author of 3 books? Somebody that sits in prayer every day? I was actually doing a channeling for my book. And I had to look beside me and see a dumbass dickhead pulling out his dick and jacking off. There's an Epstein video, I think it's called Weinstein and Epstein. It's a beautiful interview. He's a very intelligent man, Weinstein. I think his name, I can't remember what his name is. And he actually spoke to Epstein on a couple of occasions. Epstein wanted to speak with him because he is a very high intelligent guy. I think he's a quantum physicist. Very genius. I love watching his videos. He's such a genius man. Not entirely connected spiritually in that way, but he understands quantum mechanics. And so when he was sitting down in front of Epstein, Epstein would do very similar things. They use crass, deconstructive, mind-scraping techniques to see how much you're gonna sway. How can we trigger you? Where are we gonna get your triggers? Where are we gonna get your psychosis? Where are we gonna get that childhood memory? Where are we gonna get that childhood wound? They do things like this to see how they can trigger you, to see how they can knock you off your post. Okay, well, all that's showing is just how stupid you are and how crass you are. Like, is that what gets you off? And now you've got a record with the police because that car is being tracked now. Okay, so that's your game, that's your tactic, and the people's money is paying for that. Okay, so anybody that actually wants to do an investigation, where are the monies going to everybody that was paid for many, 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 many years while I sat homeless and isolated and suffering from the daily relentless attacks? Follow that money. Follow the money on everybody being paid inside and out while they're doing a lot of other crimes. And these people are allowed to walk around because there's people in the courthouse that help paperwork move where it needs to move, where there's signatures that need to be made so that these criminals continue to walk around. Why? Because they're backed by government experiences. They're all in that little cult together, all in that little group together that say, hey, if I do a favor for you, want to do a favor for me? White collar crime. And I'm talking about it. I'm divine feminine. I'm coming forward. And I'm not sitting down. Your asshole abuse is going to get you your equal opposite asshole criminal experiences and consequences. And you will go to jail because I will charge you and I will ask for maximum sentencing. Everybody in the government, everybody that's targeted me, secret files and everything. It doesn't matter how much evidence you try to destroy. God will assure that the evidence will be where it needs to be with whom it needs to be with. Humanity is awakening because we're sharing the experiences. It no longer holds power over us. This is the human awakening to what is called elite soul harvesting. They were using me, taking my ideas, seeing how I was overcoming all the obstacles, how I was overcoming the abuses, how I was overcoming this, this, and this, and how I survived. And okay, so I'm doing all the solving. I'm doing all the purposeful solving. I'm doing everything that these elite leaders and these politicians are using, and I get nothing for it. So you're claiming my stuff is yours. You're claiming my idea is yours. You're claiming my inventiveness is yours, and I get nothing. I sleep in my car? How's that fucking okay? How's that going to work for you in the infinity? Negative, 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 divine intervention. Boom, you're out. You've been given your opportunities. We're not playing games anymore. No more games. No more windows. It's over. So they will be charged on many criminal accounts, and the officials will pay for their karma on their own knowingness that have paid for organized attacks. So they've been paying for the organized attacks. Systematic abuses and systematic abuse systems are corrupt. They are sitting within a now new momentous occurrence because humanity is ready to awaken to what they wanted to not face. But we have to get a certain level. Remember, everything has to happen in divine timing because many of the humanity was just not willing to see their governments and their peoples and the people in their family as doing such egregious abuses. How do you even process that people that you know that you gave unconditionally to for 24 years? How do you even process that those people want to take you out? How do you even process that? And then you process it 40 times. How do you process that? So then they tell me I'm the one that's crazy? Aren't you the one that's crazy that keeps doing the same thing and expecting a different result? Isn't that the term for insanity? If I'm surviving your stupidest, most ridiculous, abhorrent, inhumane technology abuses and deconstruction abuses and mind scraping abuses and spiritual hit abuses, who is the crazy one? I'll see you in court. And I will ask for life sentences. And Spirit will assure that everybody will walk on my side. Because I stand for every human that got taken advantage of and every human that goes through bad luck for their entire life. No human should go through bad luck for their entire life. Unless they've done a whole bunch of karma and they keep doing karma and they keep doing karma. No, God gives you 7 years to make things right. That's why we have a 7-year life cycle. If you've had 7 years of bad luck, here's coming a new cycle for you to receive. Why? Because you've actually stuck to the point and you've actually said, no, I can do without things. I can do without that. I'm going to help this person over there. I'm going to do unto others. You have a 7-year cycle to make shit right. You get a renewal every 7 years. Your body goes through a 7-year health cycle. It's going to be faster and faster. It's not going to be 7 anymore. It's going to be 4 because we're oscillating at a higher rate. We have more light inside our body. It's not 7 years anymore. So just understand that. If you're going through nothing but shit and bad karma, again, you're going through shit and bad karma because you're either doing it and you've done it before and now you're facing it. So those people in Calgary and those people that have done what they've done throughout all time, for decades they've been abusing me, for decades they've been lying on me, for decades they've been stealing my work and calling it theirs, for decades they've been using my ideas and my inventiveness and calling it theirs and making webinars and calling it theirs. They've been using me as their elite soul harvesting agent and their battery source. God's cut them off now, and now they're starting to see, wow, we can't really manifest anything without Joanna's light. We can't manifest shit. No, because you're sitting in fucking darkness. You're not aligned with God on any level. You're not manifesting nothing. And again, the governments will be seeing that they're going into self-demise. Draw it out. The systematic abuses, where have you glorified, so there's the core reasons. Where have we glorified power, hungry, arrogance, and elitism? Because we gave power, right? We gave power to entertainment fields, and that is one of the most corrupt, and it's changing now as well. Because we gave the power and we glorified power. We glorified those that were so-called stars. Anything that we give power to and glorify, we're not creating that for ourselves. So again, that's part of humanity's awakening. We have to accept it. We have to do the 3 A's. We've glorified it, and we've then taken that opportunity to do clout chasing for badges of honor, which is not the alignment of who you are in the inner part of who you are as a soul. And again, this is what I teach. When there is such outer focus, then systematic teachings of religious and doctrine, government support, they then understand there is and can be opportunities for abuse, because people give so much power to the systematic teachings, doctrine, religious, government support systems. There is also there's also the blatant discrimination, the abuse of power against any and new evolved breakthroughs or inventiveness like myself. Why such platforms are hidden and shadow banned, because there is the blatant discrimination and abuse of power against anything that is now evolving as breakthroughs. And there is a grave imbalance. Again, the negative and the infinity goes down and down and down. There is a grave imbalance to all consciousness on your planet, because remember, one is the all and all is one. Again, we're just going back and doing the same reverberations. In the infinity, these people that do these things, and they think they're doing because they want to maintain control, they want to do the elite harvesting, they want to be the ones walking away with the ideas, they want to be the ones that are be seen as glorified, they want to do the destiny swapping for all the gifts, the schools, and how they're not getting it. Because again, we are the one, and the one is the all. You abuse a divine feminine, it's coming back to you. If you abuse a divine feminine and block them and block their abundance, you're blocking your abundance, because she's directly related and connected with you. You're blocking your abundance, you're blocking your health. Everything that you do to divine feminine, especially if it's in your family, you're suppressing her income, you're strangleholding her finances, you're making her sick and ill, you are getting it back. Why? Because we're one. So again, does that make sense? If you draw it out, leaders, does it make sense? Does it make sense, leaders, to put a nuclear bomb somewhere in another country just because it might be another country and you're mad at them that day, and then you put out your little political things, and then you do your little military tactics? Does that make sense? If you draw it out, every leader should have the infinity in their office, and they should be drawing things out every time they have to make a very crucial, critical decision about the people and the land. And that's how you know, are they aligned or not? Are you going into self-demise and extinction, or are you going to balance things out and have the divine feminine, have the experiences, have the inventiveness, have the credit being given, have the light workers being liberated, have all those that have brought their light here in divine purposefulness of God's plan? We absolutely require our voice and our liberation to walk in safety. And if you don't give it to us, there is a shifting out, and there's no more windows. Divine intervention will break that bottleneck, and like the elastic, boom. And there will be people moved. And however it happens is only up to God. God is the only distributor. Why? Because God knows exactly everything that's been done behind the scenes. God knows exactly the purity of intention to make things right. God knows exactly the purity of intention for a military person to say, I'm not going to be involved in that anymore. And God knows the purity of intention. Why? Because that intention of your purity of heart is how you are moved and supported by the heavens. If you're doing it for a financial motive, if you're doing it to send somebody away to do your initiation and they end up dying, and because of you sent them away because you absolutely knew that was going to come back to you, and that magic was going to be returned, and those intentions were going to be returned, but you sacrificed a more vulnerable energy, that's coming back to you. Because your intention is showing it. This is where these people don't get it. It doesn't matter about your conjuring. It doesn't matter about your voodoo. It doesn't matter about your black magic. Because you're intending it through the vessel, and your voice is speaking to your cells, and your voice is speaking to your muscles, and your voice is speaking to your brain. You don't know what you're doing. And as I said, draw it out. It's going into self-destruction. And are you awake now? I've been here over 50 years. I've received nothing from the collective, besides less than 5 of my loyal clients that have donated. Less than 5. For hundreds and hundreds of hours of free work, of books, of content, thousands and thousands of pages. My hundreds and hundreds of page website that my beautiful website person had going on, and she died of cancer. That was probably related to the secret societies too. They probably attacked her, because everything that's been connected to me has been destroyed and taken out. Website had to be taken down because it got hacked. Money's dried up because they blocked all the resources. And they thought that was great. Okay, so then if you draw it out, assholes, again, where are you finding yourselves right now? There's an elastic band effect in absolutely every single person that was involved, every 50 of them. Every single 50 of them, every single one of them somehow, some way, your karma's coming. And however God decides, that's up to you and your purity of intent to make anything right, because you haven't. I haven't received one penny. I haven't received a feather. I haven't received anything. And make this known. I'm not going to meet with you. I'm not going to go for coffee with you. I'm not going to have drinks with you. You have to make everything with an intentional letter to my lawyer and the monies that you stole from me, and the monies that you raped from me, the monies that you withheld from me, the monies that you hid from me, the mail that you stole from me. Everything needs to be returned to my lawyer. Why? Because you've lost your fucking access. I'm a multiverse master. Who the fuck are you? You will not stand before me. God's already told you that. Your time was up 2 years ago. You're not going to find me. You're not going to pop up. You're not going to try and persuade me to help you out and veil and cloak you and protect you. No, there's not an ounce of my energy that will touch you. You're going to go through your fucking karma. My ex and everybody you're involved with, you will get your fucking karma. Because you've hurt me, you've hurt so many people. I'm calling you out, my ex. I'm calling you out. You know what you stole. You know what you did. You know your obsessiveness with magic. You know everybody involved with and their obsessiveness with magic, and your wounding and your jealousies and your hates that you project on me. I'm not your issue. Your wounds are your issues that you're refusing to heal. And now all of you have entity attachment because of your choice of your lifestyle, low vibrational. So you could do the right thing and heal. There's no more opportunities to alter course. It's getting easier to say these things because it's systematic abuse and everybody suffers. So we said to you one more time, if you're attacking the highest consciousness on the planet, how is that a win-win for you? These people that abuse children, these people that have children in the underground, if they draw it out, anybody that touches a child with ill motives and ill intent, how does that serve you? Again, why you're doing it and what you're doing it is the core wound. And it is the lust demon that is connected with you. And you can heal those two things. And how are you going to heal it? By harmonizing with your higher self and God. And why I am here today is because I survived the abhorrent abuses of being touched and being raped and being attacked and being sabotaged. In every way that you can be sabotaged, I was sabotaged. In any way that you can have a ritual or a conjuring, it was done to me times 10. I survived all your shit and I'm the crazy one. All right. Watch God pull out the stops. It's coming. Government, so they called this, they kept taking, they kept raping, they kept trafficking, which causes the negative imbalance, and it goes down and down and down. Then divine intervention has to come through because God gave everybody, God's grace, as usual. God gave everybody to do the right thing and prove to themselves they were worthy of a sacred life. They were worthy of a sacred light timeline. They were worthy of a sacred body. They were worthy of continually having access to my light. If they chose to not heed God's grace, to have that 2 years to make things right, God said, okay, no more. There is a complete cutoff, and so the infinity keeps going down because they keep getting more aggressive in their techniques to try and get me, to try and get my light, because they're not understanding what they've got themselves into. As I said again, years ago, you're going to go into self-demise. Again, it's all quantum mechanics. It's very basic if you just understand and draw it out. There was a zero energetic exchange between all of the things that were done. There was zero exchange. I had nothing. There was just kept taking, observing me, placing more obstacles, keep attacking me, taking money from me, sabotaging me. It was a take. Rape, exploiting my name in the underground, getting paid. How many people got paid? It was just so much abhorrence. It was overkill. There was a zero energetic exchange. I got no credit for any of my work. Those people that come and soul harvest off of my videos and they take my energy, they take my ideas, they take the information and they take their wisdoms and then they go and make something and call it theirs and they set on a class and they call all of the information theirs. That's soul harvesting. You're not aligned with your spirit. You're not aligned with your higher self. You're meant to take the information and reflect on it and do your inner path work. My videos are to do the inner path work. And then shine your light forward to then share this with the collective. Share your light with the collective and share our channel. You're not meant to go and take my stuff and call it yours. That's copyright. That is going against your natural alignment. That's going against your natural soul blueprint, and you're going to get karma. You're meant to take these videos and do the reflective work. Take the codes, do the reflective work. Take the information, change and alter your beliefs and your patterns and your light consciousness. Because it's given in unconditional love. Therefore, I'm offering it to you in unconditional love. There's higher wisdoms here and higher knowings. Listen to it a couple times. You're going to pull out something different every time. That's Christ consciousness. And that's how you will see and know and prove to yourself that, wow, you are a multi-vibrational being. You're activating your Christ consciousness, which is an alchemic experience. Only the essence of the Shekinah, only your essence of your harmonization with God, the purity of your intent is the only thing that activates your Shekinah. That's why God only knows. Only God knows. Nobody knows your initiations. Nobody knows how potent your initiations are with yourself. If you intend with purity of your heart to heal your disease, God will heal that disease with you. Why? Because your purity of calling in all that you are is godly. You matching God in godliness. And why I teach is so important. Share my videos. You're godly, call it, claim it. Every hour, reclaim your power. The detriment that has been done in the soul harvesting from the elites in various fractions. So again, remember the other day we said government elite harvesting, entertainment elite harvesting, light worker elite harvesting. I mean, there's people in the light worker field, and there's low vibrational light workers that are still doing dark occult practices, and they're harvesting out the higher light harvesting, or the higher light beings. Governments, education, people in your families are harvesting off of you. They're working in the secret societies and all of those things. So there's various aspects of elite harvesting. This is exactly what Spirit called it. Spirit called it elite soul harvesting. This is what we're dealing with on the planet right now. Once humanity awakens to it, they have no more power. The governments and everybody that does it, the secret societies, the infinite numbers of secret societies that abuse people and practices every day, some of them are innocently just misguided. So they won't have as harsh karma, and they're given an opportunity now to alter course. There are those that absolutely know what they're doing, and they're essentially crime rings. They just wrap it in a title that says secret to make them sound all special, but they're actually spiritual killers. They're actually spiritual hitmen. They're actually spiritual witches and warlocks, and they're actually doing detriment and poisoning everybody in the community. Because that karma has to come back, and it will. So watch how Gaia and God will unfold it. And nobody is to blame but every person that is going to be affected. We are one. And the innocent ones and the ones that are in the family giving unconditionally and being the truth of the family to say, no, there's no more hidden things anymore. We're not going to brush this under the carpet. There's no more things in the closet. There's no more things behind closed doors, whether it's a church, whether it's a priesthood, whether it's a family. Don't hide anything, and don't be privy to allow things to be hidden. Because if you allow it, that tower will fucking come, whether you like it or not. Everything has to come out in the open. Why? Because we're in pure light, and there is nobody that can walk around hiding. You're not going to be hidden anymore. So either you face it on your own with grace and privacy as we offered 2 years ago, or I'm going to call each and every one of you out as God has given me power to. I walk with Anubis. You haven't heeded the call. I will call you out. And God will assure that I will have the clearance and the leeway. And there will be billions by the billions by the billions. Why? Because you've abused them too. They're tired of being abused. Everybody has been given grace. Everybody's been given God's grace to the infinite, while I continued to be abused by the infinite. No more abuse. It's over. The curtain has called. No more abusing of light workers or the children. All have been brought to the planet to help and uplift and heal the all. We are here as universal agents to assist in healing the all and transcend and uplift the consciousness of everybody involved. So again, why would you attack us? It's not a win-win. It's absolutely abhorrent selfishness. They don't know what they're doing. There has to be a shifting out. The first will be last and the last will be first. There is a divine intervention. Unfortunately, it had to get like this. But that's how arrogance and wounding affects everybody. It's all unnecessary, 100% unnecessary. Every country leader should be listening to this and making notes, and they should be going within and harmonizing with God, and they should be writing these things down to alter course. Because what they have been doing to the people's money and to the lands and to the consciousness of the collective has been utterly in self-destruction. In every way. And it is blatant and obvious. Everybody has to call it out. Call out secret society abuse. Call out government abuse. Call out what you see. It doesn't have power over any of us. We have been brought here to uplift and heal, and they have found every way to not only use the higher intelligent beings, to rape such intelligence, to deconstruct deconstruct such intelligence and to use some as weapons. Those that were not strong enough to go to the levels that I'm going to, they have used those as weapons to attack me and attack other light workers and do their little minion work. And further use them for systematically attacking the ones that are carrying what the planet absolutely needs. I carry what the planet needs. I carry the keys of the planet and human evolution. So why are you attacking us? You're going to move yourself into a extinction. So then I ask you, as soon as you shift into spirit, you will see that the only thing that really matters is your 3 E's. It doesn't matter about power and control over others. That's your wounding. But because people don't know how to heal, they've not been taught how to heal, everything has been so imbalanced for 3,000 years, now we're at a pivot point. As I said earlier, we are at a creational human collective pivot point. There will be those that will absolutely be shifted out to lower vibrational Epstein Earth, because they will no longer be allowed to play with the light workers. There is divine intervention. You cannot continue to beat, rape, take, withhold, steal, attack, and target the ones that are here for the answers. God will not allow it. The legions will not allow it. Your tiny little beliefs about who you think you are and your religions aren't going to cut it from here on out. You're in the mall and you're in a tiny little store. You can come out of that store and it would serve you and save you. And if you choose not to, you will be shifted because your consciousness cannot go where the rest of humanity is going. And you will not continue to abuse those that are brought here for the higher intelligence to move humanity into higher light intelligence. We know what we are doing. We've done this many times on many planets, and we have been prepared for eons. I serve the multiverse. I've done this many times in many planets that have been brought to destruction and then rebuilding them. And I've given you many times where the red flags were very blatant and obvious. I was a sacrificial lamb. I've survived. Are you going to get on the board now? Are we going to get on the same page now or not? It's up to you. They will sit and be in their damage of where their soul sits because they've chosen not to heal. Karma plays out for every soul unconditionally. There's going to be karma, what good karma or bad karma. Everybody gets it. Nobody's going to be missed. Whether you think you're going to erase evidence or not, you're still going to have that karma. Why? God sees everything. Nothing's going to be missed. Your intention was your karma. So make that very known, everybody. Whether you're doing the infinity and your intention is to do something harmful to somebody, the karma begins your second you intend it. That's your karma. You intended it. The evidence doesn't have to be there. God saw your intention. Your intention is your karma. That's why people don't get alchemy. If they just pay somebody, if they're going to go and they're going to give $100 to the charity and they think that they're off the hook. No, you're not off the fucking hook. All you're doing is moving money from one place to another. Your intention doesn't say anything about your healing. Your intention doesn't say anything about your alchemy. Have you connected with God? Have you actually told somebody that you're sorry? Have you alchemized their pain? Have you given them empathy and compassion for the damage you fucking did to them? Have you honored and understood the sabotage that you did to them and the infinite number of people that didn't have their light, that needed their light so they wouldn't go and commit suicide because they didn't know what else to do because they've been attacked by sabotaging all year? How much do you think any one person is able to take, governments? You are absolutely forcing people to take themselves out. How is that a leader? How's that okay? Does that sound like high intelligence? Draw it out. Every one of your actions in the military, draw it out. Until you stand with God and say, oh, I'm going to create with the Archangel Michael legions. I'm not creating with that bullshit anymore. You can see how stupid it is. Your soul is the equality of your intention. Whether you're being led by a government official, whether you're being led by a stupid ass cult person that thinks they know everything, they don't. If they're in a cult, they don't. If they're in a cult and think they play God to try and call in and recruit new people to get them to be their minions and to do their false ass, hiding behind their Bible verses, thinking that they're God, they're not. All of creation and evolution, there are always higher order evolution experiences to explore, express, and experience the 3 E's of who you are as a soul. Anybody telling you, showing you, hinting at you, covertly abusing you, systematically binding you, systematically holding you back, systematically sabotaging you to be less than, that is low vibrational control. Those are enslavement programs. Whatever you call it, if you call it a Bible group, it is an enslavement program if these are the energies you feel. And if you keep experiencing bad luck, that bad luck is showing you, get the fuck out. Your higher self is giving you as many towers as you need to see, red flags as many as you need to see, bringing you these videos as many as you need to see. You're in a mall, and you can go to whatever store you want, try it out for a little while and move on. Why? Because you're a higher consciousness being and not one thing fits. You're bigger than that. You're greater than that. Can you go bigger? But it's taken us to get this blatant, and it's not fun to hear, and they do get triggered. They're meant to be triggered. Why? Because it's a truth. If you bring manipulation, spell work, confusion spells, voodoo, poisoning, blood work, if you bring any types of these rituals, humiliation rituals, deconstructing rituals, mind scraping rituals, mind projections, mind control, if you do any of that, those are deconstruction human experiments, and they are harmful to your evolution. Get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out. These people are slave trafficking ring leaders. They are not godly. They are demonic. They have entity attachments. Move away. These people should not be giving guidance to any. And they are being paid, some of them by government affiliates, by the programs that they run. And as I say again, do the infinity drop back, it all comes back to you. Does that sound like a smart thing to do? Everything can be tracked back. 7 years within the government, all files, all transactions, every dollar that goes back and forth to anybody. Everything can be pulled up, tracked back, and the history's found on anything. Doesn't matter whether you destroy the evidence or not. You have secret files on me. They should have been returned to my lawyer 2 years ago, but they didn't. Every bit of evidence will be brought forward in God's way. That's divine intervention. You do not hold power over God. You do not hold rank over God. You are not the leader of God. You are not the writer of God's plan. You are not God on anybody's life. Move away from anybody that thinks they are God over you in any way. Physically, mentally, sexually, financially, emotionally, any way. Anybody that hides behind their Bible verses and then infuses manipulation or forcing of any action or activity on you, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, you need to move away from them and cut the cords. Most likely they have done root work on you. If you wake up confused all the time, anytime you have a sexual interaction with somebody and you go confused and you feel tired and you go to sleep right away, most often than not, that person is doing root work on you in the sexual interactions. You should be absolutely liberated when you have balanced, loving, sexual intimacy with somebody. With somebody that is balanced, with somebody that is working with a pure heart, with somebody that is working with equal life force exchange. If it's equal life force exchange, you should feel liberated. You should not feel demonic, tired, and wanting to check out. Anybody that uses manipulation for you to stay with them, they sabotage you, all of a sudden you find you're missing jobs, you're losing jobs, that is sabotage, that is cult experiences. And they're doing root work on you to bind you so that they can harvest off of you. So be very aware of what goes on in your life. Pay attention. Your body will tell you what is good or not. These people that do these things, your body will show you. You will start to feel sick. You'll start to feel like your head is wrong. You'll get out. That's your body showing you this energy is not good for you. Get out. And you can save your own life. So the abusing of light workers is no more. The abusing of children is no more. We have been brought to this planet to help, uplift, and heal. And they have found every way to not only use us and to use our higher intelligence, they've chosen to use every opportunity to rape such intelligence, to deconstruct such intelligence, and even use those that didn't make it as weapons against us, to further systematically attack those ones that are carrying exactly what the planet needs. The collective energy from the heart space are calling out that the abuse and the harvesting have been left literally for dead. And then we're scapegoated, and then we're given false claims so that they can take whatever monies and whatever inheritances, whatever God is blessing us with, so that even if we do make, by chance, that we do miraculously make it out because God's the one making us there, they'll give false claims and bullshit on us so that they take whatever inheritance God blesses us with for surviving. Okay, so not only are we attacked and left for dead and scapegoated, and not only are we given false claims that we did your fucking crimes, how's that possible? Because we're working in our light. I'd rather live in my car than be anywhere near any of you. And God will make sure that I will always be safe. But then we're blamed for our own crimes? How is that okay? It's just the abuse is just so disgusting. So much karma is going to unfold. So much karma. They will even sit and be in the damage of their soul as the karma plays out in whatever way it must be distributed. They know what they have done, each and every one of them. Even if they shall destroy evidence, it will not erase on their souls what they have done. They're the only ones that can clear their karma, and it cannot be done by, if you think you're destroying evidence, you're not going to erase your karma. It sits on your soul. Everybody knows what they have done, and they need to be guided by spirit within on how to make it right. So again, the purity of your intention at your heart space is how you alchemize. The governments and those that have abused need to sit with God and say, in all redemption, Father, Mother, how can I redeem myself in this horrible thing that I have done because I know that I've done wrong? And you go within your heart space and God and Spirit will guide you on what to do. It's not rocket science. Everybody has been told for years, on my behalf, return what you stole, and it has to go through the lawyer. You will not be in front of me. You won't be in front of me. You have no access. You've lost that right to have access to me. You must return the letter of intent with monies, my mail, my property, everything that is meant for me needs to go through my lawyer, and it needs to be in the legal hands. Because it was illegally taken, and you all know it was. You committed crimes, and you will face your crimes. You're not just going to pop up and pretend it never happened and wipe it under the rug. No. Families have been destroyed. Children have been isolated. Mothers have been isolated. Mothers barely made it through. You're going to face your fucking crimes. You're a criminal. Those from Calgary, you are criminals. And you damaged my soul immensely. You're going to face your crimes. And you will return every penny and every day wasted of my life. Because you chose to sit in your wounds. That you didn't have to. Everything was 100% unnecessary. Speak out against secret society abuse. This is your template to transcend and move beyond and heal. And you be a leader of your community. This will never happen to another child ever again. We will have higher vibrational leaders. Again, so Spirit said it doesn't matter if they're destroying evidence. It will not erase what has been done to the souls they've harmed, and it will not be erased from their soul that they chose. Stag, okay, so... Where have you glorified the power hungry? So the power hungry leaders that call themselves leaders. Why have we given such power away to those that claim themselves as leaders? And why have we given power and glorification to what we call elitism? We've given them the power and they've taken the ball and run with it. So now we have to reclaim our power back every day. It is a pure alignment of your own soul for you to teach yourself again that you are godly. And remember that as godly. When there is such focus on the systematic teachings of religion, doctrine, we're giving our power to those systems. Again, you're looking for your importance, you're looking for your belonging outside of you, and it's not. There becomes a grave imbalance, which we just said, and there will be divine intervention because all consciousness resides upon the consciousness of the one and the all. The all is the one and the all is the one and the all are the one. So again, if you take away the highest level of consciousness on our planet, how is that going to benefit the all creational plan of Mother, Father, God? So it's not. And God says, okay, well, the plan is being bottlenecked here. What's going on? It is a rip. It is a... I'm just going to close out. There's a guy playing with his electric car. So cute. There is a rip in the collective, one by one, when you go within to rebuild yourself and reestablish yourself again, the connection, the relationship to your higher guidance. So again, when you're wanting to alchemize, you need to go within that center of who you are, whether you're a secret society, whether you're a group, whether you're a church, whether you're a government official, you say, yes, we want to be a part of the change. Go within and sit here and seek the higher guidance. Start reestablishing yourself with who you are in here. Don't look to anybody outside of you. Again, I said on my post, women, don't rely on anybody outside of you. Go within and start rebuilding yourself. Even if you have to live in your vehicle, even if you have to do things and sit on people's floors, whatever you have to do to get your new life in a safe and loving environment, do it. Go for it. Because at least you're not going to be continually degraded in environments where they're enslaving you and trapping you and forcing you to be less than. You are meant to evolve if you're not evolving. You are meant to receive if you're not receiving. You are meant to grow if you're not growing. You are meant to be loved if you're not being loved. You are meant to have safe and balanced sexual experiences. If you're not having safe and balanced experiences, sexual experience, and if you're not coming out of it beautifully alive and enlivened in a beautiful, positive, and loving way, what's going on in the other ground is absolutely the opposite. And again, it's going down and down and down, self-extinction. And many of them will absolutely die of diseases. because those were their intentions. Their intention is what they become. It doesn't matter if they're going to project it and send it somewhere else. No, you've intended it like thousands of times. How can you think anything different? And I'm the one that's crazy? Okay, well, perhaps your disease will tell you different. To such degrading and staggering disease that your own fathers, the own groups and the own governments and the abusing of the innocent that have enslaved and sold and trafficked to seek their own higher state of being, and it hasn't been, it's just nothing but to be deconstructing. So, so transcending that, controls, roles, definitions, and expectations and conformity, we've allowed ourselves to just be okay with control. We've allowed ourselves to be okay with roles and definitions of other people's department stores. No, we don't have to be that. Other people's expectations, why would you go and have people initiate you? You know, those kinds of things. No, you have to reclaim your power in any one of those situations. I'm not going to have anybody initiate me. I initiate me. I'm not going to have anybody to tell me and sabotage and do what to do. No, I don't care what's being thrown at me. I'm going to still align with God within, because I know God within is going to lift me higher than all of them, and they're all going to get their equal divine intervention. Why have we allowed other people's expectations of us, societal expectations of us, educational expectations of us, religious expectations of us, doctrine expectation of us, conformity expectation of us? Why have we normalized such abuse? So this coming fall, it will be the falling of the leaves, if you will, off of the tree of life. The leaves have to fall. And that will be facing and acknowledging the 3 A's of the underground, the black web, how we have been abused, how we have been exploited, how we have been okay with it, and where we given power to, and we need to reclaim it back every hour. There will be no more abuse to the innocent. There will be no more enslavement. There will be no more trafficking, and no more inhumane testing. Spiritually corrupt systems that further torment the innocent, abuse and attack every level of what has been the natural order of God's blessing. It's been God's blessing to give us life. It's been God's blessing to give us trees. It's been God's blessing to give us aspect of water. And we've abused every part of it. So this fall, you will see those things that need to be shaken up. How much can God's grace be given to those that are just abhorrently, absolutely refusing to heal, and therefore just creating more destruction? Every political leader needs to watch this and sit with themselves very quietly in a corner with God. And they need to sit and say, there has been so much inhumane abuse on this planet, and we have allowed it to be normalized. And then we've glorified such leaders that are okay with it. We've allowed the drug movement back and forth between borders. The politicians know what goes on with the drug movement back and forth. Children are dying every day. There's no higher light wisdoms. The waters are being affected. The women are being affected. Divine feminine intelligence and leadership and role models are not on this planet. How much of God's grace do you expect that's going to be in a loving experience? In the infinity of the law of balance, how much do you think God's grace can be given? When everybody has been told thousands of times, stop doing what you're doing. How much of God's grace? There's a shift. You have had a tolerance of such abuses. So that's what Spirit said. Although I was the sacrificial lamb, because I've had such a high tolerance, because of my encoding, because of who I am, because of my threading, because of my own inner work, because of the preparations I've had on many other realms, and why nobody can swap destinies and sacrifice me, because they don't know what they're talking about, and they don't know who they are, and they don't know what they're doing. But that's a part of the whole agenda. It gets frustrating with me sometimes, because it's like, fuck, how many times do I have to say the same fucking thing? That's what's so frustrating. It's like being in kindergarten for a million years. Haven't we done this a million times? So I said to Spirit the other day, I said, you're going to move me. You're going to move me by this date. I'm going to have my money by this date. I'm going to get everything returned by this date. The multiverse is in action now. The divine intervention is now. Everybody's being brought down now. I'm not playing no more. Again, how much of God's grace? My energy and my essence and my being here is grace. My story is about grace. God's blessed this planet with me, as each and every one of you, as I've taught each and every one of you. You are a blessing to this planet. Walk in that knowing. I claimed that knowing. I said, God, I'm the blessing for all of this planet. I love every aspect of life on this planet. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not playing. I'm not engaging. That's why, again, I won't meet with anybody. I'm not talking with anybody. I'm not going to pick up the phone. I'm not going to respond to any emails. No access. I'm done. And those that think they have won, those will be the absolutely first ones that God's shifting out. Because they'll think that they have won. Again, it's all about their competition and winning and ego arrogance. No, God's moving me to those that will appreciate and feed me, and God will move me to those that will absolutely give back. That infinity has to be made right. And God will bring that divine intervention to however it needs to be made right. I'm the hybrid, I'm a crystalline, I'm an example of every child on this planet. How are they being given? How are they being offered higher light systems? How are they being offered understanding about their chakras? How are they being offered potential and hope and promise? Their imprint of the children's collective is knowing that they're falling into organized systems, they're falling into abuse systems, they're falling into negligence, they're falling into neglect, and they're falling into trafficking. Because of those people that know how to manipulate, do manipulate. Illegally surveillancing them in their life, making them feel as if they're unsafe in every corner of their own home. Violated on every level, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They know what they're doing in the deconstruction process. And these people are abhorrent. They will be shifted. Every single one of you are getting judgment. Right now, right now, right now, right now, times 50. Each and every one of you. And it will be a big shaking out. Because some of these people are very elite, they're very important, and they have big names. And so, you're not aligned on any level. Because you've been abusing people and your power. You've been abusing technology, you've been abusing the information laws, you've been abusing financial acts laws, you've been abusing human rights laws, you've been abusing absolutely everything to do with privacy. Nobody had an ounce of right to do what they did with me, on any level, in any way. It was 100% illegal. Every single one of them are criminals. You have had such a high tolerance for such abuses and the programs of abuse so that you could and choose to be of what has been called in your higher awareness of the sacrificial lamb to disclose to your collective because of your capacity and understanding for the psyche and the human collective heartbeat. Again, as we said, where did we come from? Where did we go? The Adam Eve project. Where have we come from? How did it get started? Where are the psyche wounds, divine feminine, divine masculine? I'm walking you through why and how we have the core wounds we do. We cannot heal until we understand and how and why. When you're doing your daily ascension path work, if you want to heal, if you want to transcend, you have to know. So me with my expertise is a conduit. Me as an expertise with the interfacing with God that I have. Me as an interface of the preparation and planning I've had to be here from the very first incarnation and to be with the collectives I'm with and to be in God's divine plan. I can help you show you how we have come from, where we have come from, what are the beliefs, what are the core woundings, where is the psyche at, where we are right now, and how can we move forward. God knows what God's doing. Your ego doesn't know. The ego is not the driver. The political leaders right now are not the drivers. They are all an ego. Surrender, let go. How can you make it right? Trust God and allow yourself to be shifted. So again, they said that because I understand the psyche and the human heartbeat of where we're at right now, I can see evolution from a top-down perspective and then bring higher wisdoms and higher consciousness that will awaken the human collective from that top-down effect to what has been abusive, what has been corrupt, because there is many false knowledges and false beliefs that are ready to be broken up. So again, those that are sitting in such low vibrational belief systems, they don't know any different. That's what they've been taught, told, and shown. There are those that do know there is different, but they're just choosing not to. So again, it's up to only God to shift what God knows, because God knows where everybody is at in their consciousness, right? So that's why, again, nobody has an ounce of right to touch anybody else's life, because you don't know. Who the fuck do you know? You don't know that person might wake up tomorrow and be the next leader of new education systems. Like, who are you? That's why it's so dangerous what people have been doing. So fucking dangerous. It's mind-boggling. Remember, nothing dark can remain in the light. All will be seen because the light will just show it. The light workers and the empaths and the light workers and the seers, they're not doing anything. They're just saying, well, yeah, we're light. We're seeing what's not in light. Well, so you target us? Because we're just showing you what is in the dark that's been hidden. In a dark reality, as Cryon said many, many times, in a darker reality, 50 years ago, people from 50 years ago wouldn't be able to see who we are right now because we're so much lighter than we were 50 years ago. Everything that was dark just stayed in the dark because everything was dark. We are now becoming higher light. We're now becoming higher consciousness. And people that like us that have higher consciousness, we're seeing what's absolutely dark. So yeah, we're going to call it. We have to. Yeah, no, this is not fucking okay. Why have we normalized such abhorrent abuses? Why is that okay? Call it. Again, we will not hide our participation in what has been going on. We're not going to be okay with the normalization of what has been. Reclaim your power every hour. Each of you have the ability to tune into a higher vibrational earth by claiming and acknowledging where your new consciousness resides at. Each and every one of you are the change that is required to bring humanity into new light. Again, that is the humanity awakening. There are new states of becoming, because becoming is a state of consciousness, that are higher vibrationally aligned with your inner guidance, your inner godliness. Remember, your Metatronic light is your godliness. That's everything that God has blessed you in light, as the song of God, to become your higher state of higher self. That's your harmonization of the higher self. It is your Metatronic light body. It is all that you are as God. God gave that to you as grace. Not everybody will be offered this. If you're not showing purity of intention to be in alignment of your light body, to be in alignment of the heavens, to be in alignment of eternal life, you will not be offered it. Plain simple. Taking money and abusing people, you're not going to be offered what you think you're entitled to. You're not entitled to it. You have a lot of ego wounding. You've been brought up in very detrimental environments, and you have to look at your wounds right away. There's no more windows for those people that act and behave like that. The light evolution is the natural order of progression. So just understand, if you're operating in light, there will always be a natural order of progression. As we said earlier, if you're going through a 50-year cycle of bad luck and you've done, do unto others, there's something going on there. If you're doing your ascension path work and all you're doing is getting taken from and sabotaged and raped vibration, you wake up and you have dreams of being raped, you have all of these things that occur to you that is vibrational attacks, then that's when you call in to heaven and say, no, I've had enough. I'm not doing this anymore, Spirit. There has to be divine intervention. I'm not going to be attacked every new moon. I'm not going to be attacked every full moon because these idiots think that they're going to swap my skills and my destiny when they've been told 8 million times you're just not. You're not even getting the lesson. You're not even in the same classroom. You're wasting money. You're wasting energy. You're hurting people around you. There is divine intervention. Where people are not going to be innocently harmed anymore. So again, light evolution, if you get light. If you're doing unto others and you're living in your light, there's just a natural progression. You will be blessed. That's God's gift. You don't have to do spell work. You don't have to take it from people. You don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to swap. You don't have to do these things that you think you have to do to sacrifice to get God's blessings. No, God will always bless you. You're in a natural progressional order. The governments have made you believe that you're not. Just as if Jesus on the cross. You don't have to always think of Jesus on the cross and being in shame and guilt. No, you're going to get blessed. Love yourself. Jesus wouldn't have been able to ascend if Jesus did not forgive you. So go there. Anybody that has those energies of wanting you to stay in shame and guilt for the crucifixion of Jesus, you have to ask them very pointedly. The highest version of Jesus is 13th dimensional. Do you think Jesus would have rose if he held an ounce of guilt in his body and shame for you not holding him in honor? Jesus would not have been able to rise his consciousness. Why? Because guilt and shame is a low vibration and Jesus is not that. Jesus forgave you the second that he rose. That is a light liturgy truth. Jesus forgave all in creation the second he rose. He was pure. He understood he was a sacrificial lamb. I understood. I'm a sacrificial lamb for all of Creative Collective to say, I am a higher vibrational intelligence. I have been abused, but you don't have to be. Open my platforms, share my videos. I have every right to be here as every other aspect of life on this planet. And those that are coming with inventiveness and higher education and higher wisdoms, we have been suppressed and abused and used more than anybody could survive through. And that has to question those in power with the money and the resources. You're not leaders, you will be sat down. The games are over. There's no more tokens. There's no more money trading back and forth. And if those that choose, you will have immediate karma times 10 and the blowback will not be survivable. And again, as I said the other video, be sure of the sentence that ends with my name in your mouth. This is divine intervention. We are moving forward with Mother Father's plan for all of evolution, for all of humanity. It is nothing for light workers that they are doing, but only aligning in their light and thus speaking of it. They see what they see and they're calling out darkness. That's their role. We are here to offer light. We are here to call out higher systems. We are here to call out what's not working. We are here to call out how can we do it better. We are here to call out our healing. We are here to say we're here to heal these children. We are here to say we can offer so much light. That's our role. That's why we're here. So in what evolutionary plan of all even basic intelligence, if you draw it out, of what intelligence would it be if you target and harm and systematically deconstruct the ones that are bringing higher vibrational light so that you don't get diseases, so that you can heal and transcend through abuse, so that you can heal your traumas, so that you can manifest anything in the highest level of joy and creative passion and creative alignment and your creative source connection, and that you get eternal life with Source Creator. And who's the crazy one? Common sense would prevail. We thank and love and appreciate all of the ground crew. So this is what Systems Were Light were saying, because we were having a discussion back and forth about what lightworkers need right now to be nourished, and going through so much abuse and transcending this next level. I told them that, okay, done is done. I've done my path work. I'm not playing those games anymore. I'm not engaging. There must be a change that must happen now. And then this is the next channel. We thank and love and appreciate all ground crew that continue to face the darkness every day and truly align with their higher vibrational light, that there is always pure promise, that the breaking is necessary, that the towers are necessary, and moving beyond the consciousness that was. Such breaking has to be, for you cannot and no longer normalize systematic abuse. You all each have to look at where you have given power to and why, and to whom, and then why. Then reclaim it back for yourself. This goes to, in the fall, I'm supposing that, you can just see the patterns of past histories. I'm supposing that there will be something coming out this fall. They've been giving us little tweaks and pinches every now and then of their control patterns and their systematic breakdowns, wanting humanity to be in fear about different viruses and different vaccines. That's just how they poke us to get us into more fear. So this is where, again, every level there's new devils, and those new devils will try and pull you back into lower vibrational patterns of fear, so that they can control and dominate your thought processes. They can control and dominate, and then do this elite soul harvesting. How are we harvesting their energy? How are we harvesting the fear they're in? How are we pitting, I don't watch anything to do about politics, but, and they in the media, because you can tell who the media is owned by. In the media, they'll say one of the presidential candidates was putting another presidential candidate down. That's how they pit competition and disgust at one another. So that's bringing them into competition. That's bringing them into attack mode. That's why they do have those of us with such high elite intelligence. That's why they do have people that attack us and put us in competition experiences, because they want us to go to a lower vibrational degradation. So it's been a very challenging navigational path for me to come forward and say, no, these are the actual truths. I can see it from an infinite number of perspectives. I don't have to have proof this is what's happening. And bit by bit by bit by bit, each and every one of them will prove to themselves and prove to the all exactly where they sit vibrationally and what they have done. God, again, as Jesus said, I walk with the heavens. Everything will be proven. All I have to do is speak my truth and align with it. And there are moments that, yes, I do get upset and agitated and angry, because every day I have to wake up and I transmute all the spell work and all the crap that they've been doing. It's still in my field. I still have to transmute it. Less and less and less, because God's putting more and more people around me to protect me. And I'm also getting more efficient with my light. And I do swear, because I'm just tired. I'm tired of the fuck shit. I'm tired of people thinking that normalizing abuse is okay. It's not okay. I understand how it is for Divine Feminine, for our finances to be stranglehold by people that think they have power and control over us. And then they have their buddies and their cult and their sex coven and their sex gang sit and do spell work on us to make us feel even more degraded, as we're getting paid less than 10% of what the average man does. Their systematic approach to their intention was to make you feel and suffer in every way you will never receive. That was my ex's intention and everybody they belong with. They didn't want me to be loved. They didn't want me to be given to. They didn't want me to feel as if I was given to and supported and uplifted by the collective. That's where their malicious intentions. Deconstruct everything that a normal, safe person would feel. And they deconstructed it mentally, intellectually, physically, sexually, by forcing gay thing at me and all the crap that they did with the gay all that gay stuff that they were doing with me. Try and make me gay and try and make me be attracted to group sex and group orgies and same-sex bullshit and all that kind of shit. I'm not gay. You can put whatever videos you want and try and project all that crap on me. I'm not gay. But that's one of their systematic deconstructions. They want you to detach what you know about yourself. They want you to detach from your sense of self. They want you to detach what makes you happy and make you feel sexually pleasured. I pleasure myself in the highest of ways because I'm connected with Mother, Father, God, and my life force is my life force. Nobody has a better life force than my life force. Why would I go to anybody else? And B, I can be whatever sex I want because I'm an androgynous now. I can have attraction to whatever. But I absolutely want my mate to be heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual person in my mate. I've been celibate for 15 years. I've been estranged for 8 years for a very good reason, because they're not balanced and they're not well. I've called it out from day one. And they just haven't listened. So now they're not going to be held back in such privacy anymore. Everything's coming out because they haven't done the right thing. I moved away 4 years ago. I have given no signatures. I've given no permissions. I've given no authority. I've never signed insurance documents with anybody over the last 8 years. Why would I? I'm an advocate for human rights. I'm not crazy. You all should all be tested. It's going to shift overnight just like that. Divine intervention. No more abuse on my name. So again, the legions were saying, we thank you so much for being the ground fruit and for transmuting all that you do and every day. And you're bringing attention to what we have normalized that has been systematic abuse in whatever way we said. So remember, education, systematic abuse, gender preferencing, systematic abuse, politician, systematic abuse, government, wherever that abuse happens, right? These are truly very exciting creational times for everybody. And it has been especially difficult and challenging for those that are meant to break all that was. Again, those are crystalline children. Me, I'm a crystalline child, so I'm meant to go into the darkest of places, and I know that now. I didn't know it at the earliest, in and out of those very hellish experiences. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Nobody could survive what I survived. I wouldn't wish it to anybody. You have to be trained to do what I did, because again, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I'm a crystalline being, and I was sent there because I had the top teams with me, reconstructing me every night. I was able to do what nobody could do. Thank you, Linda. Anything that you intend is returned back to you, so thank you. All play a role in the evolution and the human awakening. We're at a very important crucible. This is a pivot point. So every night, take advantage of the beautiful healing teams, Mother, Father, God, and use that pivot point within you. There is a pivot point. You can't dump anything, suggest, rely on anybody to help you pivot. That pivot is only you and God. There is no more relying on anybody right now. Everybody must go within, reclaim their power, and say, wow, it feels good to be self-empowered. It feels good to know who I am. It feels good to know that I can manifest my own light. It feels good to know that I can manifest my oneness with God. I'm one with God. I know what my passion is. I know what my purpose is. Let's go. That's all you need. And all those other voices and the noise around you, let them be and move away. And again, especially if there is systematic abuse, like strangleholding your finances or isolating you, or the systematic deconstruction or the slow dagger. Those are very systematic abuses, and you have to move away from those people because the environments are dark. And it will be hard for your body to recover in the light if that is the environment you're in. You have to move out of those environments and move away. You have to clear the brain fog, because spell work is mental. It is a mental virus, and it will keep you in mental numbness. And you'll keep going on the same patterns because that mental doesn't have enough light to get back up to the higher self. So if you're not entrained in your multidimensional bodies, you're not reaching that higher self, it will be a challenge for you to survive systematic abuse, because it's coming at you, especially the ones that were me, because it was coming from every angle by everybody, supposed leaders of the community. So again, if you're not doing your daily higher consciousness work, your soul integration, your soul fragment healing, so if you are doing this, you can incorporate a higher, faster oscillating version of you, adding to yourself as the service of light to the greater good of all. So the more soul healing you do, the more soul integration you do, you're adding to the all of you, the light of you, to the all. Again, the all affects the one and the one affects the all. And again, why there was such divine intervention, because I do affect a lot of people. It's just systematically, being a Christ consciousness leader and a healer, I am connected with the greater good of the all. That's why it was very detrimental. I had to be tested because I do affect the all. And I have to be refined in my vibration. What I offer affects the all. And just as Jesus did. Jesus walked, everybody felt him. And many of you have been stretched beyond what we thought anybody was capable of, and you've taken it on and transmuted everything that we have thrown and everything that your collective has thrown and been through. These have been your own initiations to know that you are all godly. Joanna is a testament of such inner perseverance of being to higher resolve, that which she knows daily and blatantly there are systems of abuse that need to be broken. There are those that can refuse to heed the plan of the higher human collective and our celestial oneness into greater progress, into greater unity consciousness. The Father always carries a divine plan that is the natural, higher, innate order. Again, as we said earlier, there is always a natural order. There is always a natural order flow. That's why we have universal laws. Surrender to it. The Father always carries a divine plan, and know all is perfect for every soul. Remember, even the negative opportunities, even the negative experiences of systematic abuse, even the negative experiences of those that do it and take money for it and get paid for it, those are all still very beneficial for the collective, because if it weren't for their stories of negating their higher self, then those of us could not have been pushed farther to break through and have the human awakening breakthroughs that need to be from the densities of such systematic abuse. Because remember, there has to be an equal positive, that elastic band effect, for those systems of abuse to be broken, because there was such normalization. Until a divine feminine comes forward, as many of my earlier videos, until a divine feminine comes forward and says, where are the higher intelligent divine feminines that are made role models in our collective? How are they being lifted? How are they being supported? How are they being moved around the planet to being offered benevolent, interfacing with every human on the planet? How are divine feminine being liberated and being emulated on the planet? Where are the shows? Where are the offerings? Where are the loving opportunities for divine feminine in positive, higher intelligent forms? Where are they being uplifted? Where is their platform? Where are their communities of celebration, of higher intelligence, of divine aligned? Where are these role models? You're seeing one in the political arena, and then again, she is being pit against. If she was a wise person, she would not buy into the old men's game of competition and pitting each other against each other. She would allow herself to remain completely unfazed in those agendas. And she would not need any celebrity to back her if she was a wise leader. We'll see how that plays out, because she's going to be given a lot of impalements from the misogynistic old ways, and there's a lot of them that can't wait to see her fail just because she's divine feminine. There's no judgment on anywhere she stands in her intellect, because I'm not tuning into her energy, and it's not fair for me to judge that. I'm saying, as the 3,000 years that have passed, it's a great opportunity for all of us to move into higher consciousness. Where are the higher intelligent role models? How are we being celebrated? How are we being amplified? How are we being allowed to level up? As I said, there are those that are on the lower rungs where they're manifesting off of humanity's patterns, and they know that there's a shift coming for divine feminine, and all of a sudden they're operating and they're throwing on these divine feminine webinars that they've never done before, but they know that that's a pattern coming, so they're getting on the bandwagon, they're putting on a divine feminine webinar. Okay, so you're getting on the bandwagon, it's not soulfully aligned. Did you go in and check with your higher self? Did you go in and check with where's your soul's passion? Did you go in and check for this? I mean, it's good that divine feminine are being coming forward, but again, where's the intention and motive? There's always an intention and motive, and what does that we just said? That will show you your karma or your dharma. Again, you can have positive karma and negative karma. Your dharma is your soul's passion. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's just who I am. I can't wake up without being who I am. That's how you know that those people will be lifted. Again, tune into the intention, because that will tell you of their alignment, of the higher systems or lower systems. And everything is needed. Everything is allowable, right? Because there's going to be people at every level. They're not bad. There's no judgment on it. It's telling you where their consciousness is at. So then tune in. Where's your consciousness at? Celestial progress into unity consciousness, and the Father always carries a very divine plan. Know that all is perfect for every soul and what they are moving through, because it always shows a reflection back to the collective. And it's up to each person. And again, if you're doing your ascension path work, what is this reflection for me and what is it showing me? Where's my consciousness at physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? That is the comprehension that in 3D, they're all things. Okay, so they were saying that there are things that are beyond our comprehension right now. So what they were showing me in that statement is that the Father always has a plan. Everything is perfect for every soul, but there's always a caveat, because we're not God. We have to just surrender the fact that, as in mine, there was so many frustrations because I work at a multiverse level. So this statement here is to do with the multiverse, and I don't want to understand the comprehension because it's just beyond what I can comprehend. And I don't care to go there. I just trust God. It's beyond me. So this is what they said. Father always has and carries out a divine plan. Know that all is perfect for every soul, because I was always saying, why would this be allowed? And so I kept asking the Father, why are you allowing this? Why are you allowing this? And so Father said, there is always a perfect plan for the divine beings, and it is beyond your comprehension at this point in the 3 to 5D level. But suffice it to say that there is a multiverse ascension that holds the mysteries of all that is held within God's divine plan. And this is why you just have to surrender to God's divine plan and your higher self, because you're not going to know why and how and in what way the unexpected and unexplained mysteries are going to unfold, but they have to. And again, sometimes they showed me that I was a sacrificial lamb and had to go through extraneous abuses in different ways, in all ways of our social collective, in all ways of my multidimensional systems, so that I can teach it at the level for all of the levels of that our psyche is at. So I know now, again, it's something I wouldn't wish on anybody. But I'm learning the 3A's now every day, because it is a part of our collective healing, acknowledging, aware, and being accepting of everything, as challenging as that is. It's not easy. I'm going to be very honest with you, all of you that have been through, I know many of you that have been my clients, you've all had abuses. It is not easy in any way for you to accept abuse. Accepting abuse doesn't mean you're going to say it's okay for somebody to abuse you. No, the acceptance of abuse is say, that was my story where I'm at. I accept it as a part of my colorful story, and I can stand within my power to say it's not okay anymore. You have to accept what's going on for you to move beyond it. If you accept in your house that there's secrets and there's things going on that are not okay, you're accepting it to say, now we want something new. We're not going to hide things anymore. If you know people are hiding things, if you know people are doing things in secret, if you know there's secret hiding going on, if you know that people are living in secret, if you know that people are living in a very dense experience, you have to talk about it, because they're holding density and they're holding you back. They're holding back and living in secret and living in denial and living in deceit and living in manipulation and living in less than and living in their secret lifestyle. It is affecting you in every way, because their karma is your karma, especially if you're in the same house, especially if you're in an intimate relationship. That's why I've been estranged for 8 years, because I'm done my karma. Nobody's coming towards me. Again, why I said I'm not meeting with nobody, because they have every plan to drop destiny and swap their karma and do the fuck shit they've done before. Again, if you keep doing the same thing and it's not working, isn't that insanity? So who's the insane one? They will not be allowed to sit near me. They will not be allowed to come near me. They'll not be allowed to talk to me, because they do have plans of just dropping everything and not being held accountable for their deeds and their crimes. And you will be held accountable. Everybody will be held accountable. Whether you've destroyed the evidence or not, you will be held accountable. Again, when you're working with God, you can go through any traumatic situation that is even overkill abuse, and you will find always be brought to the higher ground when you're working and aligning with Source. Because Source will show you the easiest path to the higher ground. That's your higher self-alignment. And so they're showing me right now, thank you, Holy Spirit. Sometimes when you're going through so much prolonged, like Jesus and I were the sacrificial lambs, when you're going through prolonged experiences of navigation of obstacles and attacks and abuses and things like that, it's because you're here to help others go through those infinite navigations of wherever anybody will be at. That's how you know a higher vibrational leader. Because a higher vibrational leader will absolutely have an answer for most of what goes on in humanity at many levels, not just one level, right? Higher vibrational leaders will have answers. This is why, again, okay, so they're showing me, thank you, Holy Spirit. This is, again, why the systematic abuses had been done on those of us that were higher functioning and higher, higher embodied beings, because we were showing the people that didn't have the answers, we were showing them the answers. So they were harvesting off us and seeing how we get through things. They were using us to how to get through problems. They were using us how to get through their attacks. They were using us so they can create harder and harder voodoo, harder and harder rituals, harder and harder spell work, harder and harder technology projections. So they would use whatever I was going through as a test for them to come up with something harder for me to get through. So again, how's that okay? And where are you going with that? What's going to be the outcome on your path? Your soul's going to wear it. It's not going anywhere. You're not going to dump it. You're not going to swap it. You're not going to destiny swap it. You're not going to just say, you're not going to cloak it under somebody that's innocent. God knows your every action. And the only way to alchemize it is the purity of your heart. There is no other way. The only problem is that most of these people that do such attacks and most of the people that are government leaders, their heart chakras are completely closed. They have zero heart chakra activation. As I said in one of my videos a while ago, they showed me a room where all the leaders of the world were sitting, and they showed me how many of the leaders that year had cried for whatever occurred in their country, that they had been the cause of. Whether it be destruction, whether it be lives being lost, whether it be, bombs being dropped. And they showed me only 3 of those leaders of the countries had cried for what had happened for their people that year. So that shows you there was only 3 in that room that had heart chakra activations, where they actually did care about their people and land. And so again, we ask you, why are they leaders? But there's a huge human awakening we have to celebrate. That shows great promise. And this is why, again, we have taken such great work and honor and perseverance to go through all the lifetimes we've gone through to clear the karma that we had to clear so that we could be right where we are right now. And God's going to move you. God's going to put you in position because your gifts are needed. Your art is needed. Your healing is needed. Your just holding space to be love is needed. Your believing in someone when nobody else believed in them, that's needed. There were those of my clients that were the only ones that believed in me, and they brought me through. That's why God's going to protect you. God will protect those ones that have been listening to me since my KCOR days. Because your belief in me and your belief in my connection and your belief in every time I came forward, I took great care. I took great passion. I took great intention with everything I bring forward. And sometimes those stories have agitation and anger in them. Of course, why wouldn't they be when you're being attacked your entire life? And everybody you meet has been sabotaging you and cruelly, cruelly, cruelly cursing and hexing you through your whole life. Not an ounce of truth in anything. Of course you're going to be a little angry. Why wouldn't you? I'm human. I'm a crystal ultra human, but I'm still human. I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't have compassion. I know how it feels for a child to be raped. I know how it feels for a child to be molested. I care. I said to my teams last night, and I said to Spirit, we were going through that conversation. I said to you earlier, I said, I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm not engaging. And I said, this is the deadline. It's got to change. Divine intervention. I'm out. And so Mother, Father, God said, okay, here we go. Let's play. Right? The legions are all in a lineup. Because I'm here for New Earth. I'm here for New Earth leadership. And I can't be a great leader if these things are continuing. I'm calling Uncle. It's done. And so I said to them, and I just broke down crying. I said, Spirit, in the earliest of the call for Mother to bring me here from another universe, Mother brought me here because I care so much about life. I care so much about innocent life. I care so much about animals. I care so much about all life. And I said, you cannot expect someone to be abused so much so that they just detach from caring and having that empathy within their heart for all that is life. And then I just broke down in tears. I said, which is my proclamation. These are the conversations of alchemy you have with your teams. So this is why I'm sharing my personal stories with you, because it's your alchemy. That's when Mother, Father know you're ready for that next position. You're ready for God to bless you. You're ready for God to give you the mantle. You're ready for God to give you the staff. You're ready for God to take that disease from you. So I'm sharing to you what this conversation and being in harmony with God is. When you sit with Mother, Father, and you're in tears and you say, you brought me here from another universe, and I've done nothing but give unconditionally. I can't keep giving in these conditions because I care so much. Something's got to give. Got to pull the plug. And God said, okay. The team said, we're on it. More light ships come, more legions come. That's the Thank you, Holy Spirit. They're saying you're claiming it in this moment. Thank you, Holy Spirit. They're saying they're waiting for me to get to the level of acknowledgement and acceptance of the vibrational clout that I hold with all systems. Because I've been so easy to take a back seat to everybody. Because I lift everybody up. Thank you, Holy Spirit. When I move insects to safety, you know, there was these little beetle bugs that were on the basketball court, and there was kids coming on the basketball court, so I moved the little beetle bugs off to the grass. And whatever animals I see along the way or people I see along the way and the upset people in the coffee shop, it's equal. And so God said, my team say, we've waited for you to get there on your own. Because God would never want to take that from you when you arrive at that place of reclaiming your power to speak life into creation. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That's profound. And again, God always has a reason. I got this channel today as I was about to go for a nap, and I said, okay, I'm just starting to write. And I got there on my own because God wanted me to get there on my own. To know that the legions will support me from all galaxies. Because what I do supports them, and who I am supports them. And they are my family. My family isn't here on earth. Come all nations, one and all, we are one. So I'm teaching you and I'm offering to you, this is the path work that will alter your reality. And the 3D constructs that have been so systematic in trying to change and alter who you are as a beautiful soul, that you've been taken from the farthest of the galaxies to bring your originality here, to be your authentic version of you here, to sing your authentic voice and to write and paint and create your authentic song and story and canvas. You are that blueprint for all others, so that they don't feel disenfranchised and disregarded and dehumanized in their beauty. You're that celestial version of them to say it's okay to be exactly who I am. And Mother, Father called you from the farthest places of all galaxies and coded you with the most beautiful array of cosmic DNA. And your time is now. And you'll be activated and the legions will support you. I'm so very blessed. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm so very grateful for everybody. Thank you, Holy Spirit, and the systems of light. Thank you, Holy Mother, Father. They're just saying, we wanted you to get there on your own. It's very important for Mother, Father, God, for at this level of your ascension path work, as we're entering into 5D, we have to get this one very important lesson. And this is how you know someone is aligned with godliness. And this is the new version of godliness. This is the new version of God. This is how much God loves you. This is why we're breaking everything that was about God and what we were taught, told, and shown about God. God will hold off as long as possible until you get to that breaking point where you reclaim your power and you call judgment and you call divine intervention because you just remembered that you had that power to do so and be so. And God will let things unravel for as long as possible until you get to that place. I'm worth the multiverse coming on my behalf, Spirit. The game's changing and it's changing now. You're not meant to suffer. And God will say quietly and softly, you never had to suffer. You could have reclaimed that power a year ago. But you had lessons to learn about how strong you are. God would never take that away from you. Because God will place those before you that have perhaps been through similar or worse abuses. And you will have to instill the absolute knowingness that God will allow you to move whatever path that you so choose. And it's only up to you in that moment of breaking where you say, I've done everything that I can do and I've been everything that I can be. I'm calling judgment on this story. It's not who I am. I don't want to play this story anymore. And God will say, okay, that's your self-worth, that's your self-love, that's your godliness. That's your power to reclaim it and reclaim your power every hour. I choose God right now through me, heart, mind, body, and soul, and in the very core of my beingness. I'm not playing this story anymore, I'm out. And that's when your teams and the legions and everybody on board while you sleep, the reality shifts. And there's synchronicities lining up for you, boom, 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 because you've claimed your new reality of importance. You've claimed the tribe you want around you. You have claimed the love that you choose and that you are worthy of and deserving of, and the life that you're worthy to walk safely in. And the legions and the heavens and all creation is forever changed. You commanded it so. That is godliness. And you absolutely know if you are in lesser, if they choose to want you to believe in something different and lesser. God will allow you to move however you want. But it's up to you to choose that godliness to say, I'm done. The tokens are changing, the game's changing, let's go. We're flipping the script. And that's your purity of heart of just saying, I'm going to be me and I can't do this anymore. You brought me to be love and compassion. I've done it all. I'm reclaiming my power. The game's changing right now. And God said you had to get there on your own. Because you're the only one that can claim it. And anything I create from here on out will be that original seed of that divine intervention that came down, cleared away all the densities because I claim my self-worth first. And I'm the only one that said I did the alchemy of that. I showed everybody in person. I claim the alchemy, Spirit, when you said to me in that moment, you got there on your own. That is the power God gives you. That is the grace that God gives you. That is the alchemy God gives you. That is the path of ascension I've talked about from my very first KCOR show. You're the one doing the work. You're the one getting up every day doing your ascension path work. You're the one knowing that you have a mantle. You're the one knowing that you have a staff. You're the one knowing that you can realign with the archangels collectives. You're the one knowing that you have eternal threading with Mother, Father, God. You're the one knowing that in your equal inhale, there is an equal exhale, and God will bless you with everything. That's God's grace. You're the only one that can claim that. And nobody can swap the destiny, do a spell work or a voodoo or a ritual and take it from you. Nobody. Because you're the only one in that pure harmony with God where you broke down and said, that's it, I'm harmonizing with you, God. This is my power, I am worthy. And you have to get there on your own. You can lead a horse to water, but the horse got to actually drink it. And that's when every healer, teacher, and leader knows when to pull back their light and move on. There's a shifting out right now, and everything has to do with your alignment, your connection, your relationship with who you are with Spirit. Equal measure, God will always meet you. In equal measure, God will show you those miraculous moments where you are going to show yourself the way. Because you are, that's your godliness. You just forgot. You were not told, you were not taught, you were not offered the liberation. I'm offering you that liberation. Your godliness is your perfection and your worthiness already there. You're already worthy, you're already perfect, you're already precious. Now go within and release what needs to be released. There's shifting out. And we want to get you to that higher consciousness state where you're absolutely living in your godliness and that harmonization with your higher self. There has been many systematic abuses and it's unnecessary on every level. 100% healable. Speak up, share your voice in a positive, loving action. No need for protest. God will meet you equal measure. If there's abuses happening and you know about it and you've taken money for it, then sit down and alter your course immediately. If you choose to alter your course and do right, you need to sit in your presence and your purity with God. That is the only way to alchemize your situation. Nobody can do it for you, and you cannot swap and you cannot dump your karma. Nothing ever leaves you until you alchemize it with God. And that is only by knowing that you are godliness. Satan ain't going to do it for you. Lucifer ain't going to do it for you. The religions ain't going to do it for you. They never teach you how to alchemize and be as godly. They don't, because they want you to give your power into what they teach. Your harmony in your center of your heart, your purity of intention, your purity of intention, your purity of intention is alchemy. There is no other way. And when you love the insects just as equally as you love the hit rabbit that just got hit by a car, and you love the person that's in the coffee shop that's having a tough day, when you move about life in equal membership of all that is God's creation, that is God's grace, and God will bless you tenfold. You're being godly no matter what's before you, and God will lift you. You're bringing the uncomfortable stories because you know it needs to be said, because God has given you the sight to see it and to know it and to feel it and to hear it. It needs to be broken up. God's given you the light, pierce it. Wherever there is dark, you will see it, you will know it, you will sense it, speak it. This is our new earth, we're creating it. Stand up and rise. We love you, dear lighted ones. Have no fear about who you are in God's divine creation. This is your heaven, and it is within you, and it begins within you always. And we thank loving Mother and Father and all of the systems of light and all the beings of holy light. We always thank Mother and Father God for being in the beautiful center of our hearts within us, divine feminine, divine masculine energies that we work with great compassion and love every day, to see ourselves great with love and compassion every day, to accept ourselves with love and compassion every day, and knowing that in self-love and self-care, we're moving ourselves ever up the higher spiral ladder of the expansion of who we are as divine heavenly light. Know, dear lighted ones, that we are at a very beautiful pivot point for human awakening all over the planet. Share the loving stories lovingly and with grace and with compassion. Share our channel, share our videos with loving grace, to know that anybody that is going through abuse or trauma, that there is always a way up and out. If you align with your higher self, and you align with yourself as godliness, if you align with the purity of heart of who you are as God, Metatronic light, that you will always be lifted, because you're showing yourself worthiness and care for it and getting there on your own. You're not relying on anybody outside of you. You're not codependent. You're not releasing. You're not going to surrender to anything less than. You're going to stand and say, no, I only need God. God's got me. Your higher self is godly. The source creator is all that is life, and you will always be moved eternally infinite in the eternal song that is God. Thank you to the Holy Spirit. And we ask that we just send a moment of prayers to all the children on our planet, to all the children in the heaven. We want the children to evermore absolutely continue to absolutely be born here and breathed here, every moment and every day that we wake up and every day that we move about, with commandmentship and loving sovereignty of who we are as divine light. The light consciousness, the beautiful loving consciousness, the unity consciousness, all that we are is love, light, and peace. New leaders, higher vibrational teachers, higher vibrational healers, new systems, new systems, new systems, and the children will be born and happy every day. The children will not be touched, traded, sold, or trafficked. The black web and the underground will be pulled up and culled up through our acceptance and our acknowledgement, and then we will allow it become something new and creating new systems of healing, systems of unity, systems of working together in leadership and oneness, and we shall not pit each other against each other. We are moving forward in loving dynamic honor of who we are as divine beings, as Mother Father within us. And we say divine hallelujah to Mother Father God, Gaia, all of our ancestors, our celestials, our aliens, the systems of light, and the infinite beings that love us so dearly. And we ask us, everybody, to send out a prayer to all of the infinite beings that are in the unseen, that support us in the grids, that support us in our waters, that support us in our moving forward in self-love and self-evolution. Thank you to the systems of light, the galactic federations. Thank you to our celestial families. Thank you to Mother, Father, God, and all of the angelics that help us in our light support, that help us in our healing, that help us in our dreams, that help continue to align us with our unconditional love every day. They guide us unconditionally in their love. That's how much we are loved. God will give us whatever guides that we need to love us and show us unconditionally how loved we are. So always give gratitude and thanks to your ancestors every day that help move you along in your journey of self-evolution. You've come to do the hard work, and they love you and appreciate you for transmuting and being the ground crew. You're always loved. You're always appreciated. The heavens love you. The angels love you. Mother, Father, God love you. Your guides love you. Your ancestors love you. Gaia loves you so very much. All life is equal. That's God's grace. Get there on your own. You can. You are. And you will. We love you, dear lighted ones. Anybody that would like to make a donation, we love you and we appreciate you. We love you so, so very much. And thank you to all my beautiful clients that have donated. I love you so very much. And And yes, so as I'm getting more downloads, I'm going to put out shorter videos more throughout the week. We're going to try and hopefully keep them shorter. There's always so much to say as I get channeling. So thank you for your donations. Thank you for your Ascension sessions booking. And then again, please share our video and any comments that you can send to YouTube, which would be great. I love you. I love you. I love you. Rainbow hugs and kisses.